Welcome, everybody, to a live watch party. We're going to watch our boy, Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, as he's getting off the plane there in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, actually. Whoops. In Atlanta, Georgia. Come on in. Replay viewers, if you're watching this on the replay, why aren't you here live, for crying out loud? But also, give me a team replay in the comments, because I know it's the weekend. I know everybody's got stuff going on. We're all busy, but we got a lot to talk about as we await President Donald Trump, who's going to be speaking in Atlanta, Georgia. We need this state. If you're from Atlanta, Georgia, let me know in the comments. Come on in. Look, we got the best mods in the house. Laura Tilford here. How are you, girl? Good to see you. Captain Mike Shriver. Good to see you guys. Hey, Josephina. By the way, everybody, let me know where you're joining me from. Let me know what city, what state, also what country, because I know for a fact we have an amazing audience of people who understand the magnitude and the gravity of this upcoming election. It doesn't just affect Americans. It doesn't just affect the Northern Hemisphere. It doesn't even just affect the Western Hemisphere. Everything that is going to go down and unfold in November will affect the entire world. China, Russia, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, supply chain, the global geopolitical landscape in terms of the economy, global world power exchanges, transactions, deals, trade deals, negotiations, etc., etc. This, I've been calling this, is the most consequential election of our time. Hey, look at that. We got Old Dutchman News from Georgia. Nice. Come on in. As you're coming in, please tap that thumbs up, because you know how important it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with vanity. When you tap the thumbs up and you comment, it helps our videos to reach more people. The more people that we reach, the more informed and educated our global citizenry. I used to just say the United States, but really this is a global issue. Whoever becomes president of the United States of America literally is the leader of the free world. So it affects all of you. So please tap that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It helps us out go a long way. B&H, it's going fast now. B&H from Oklahoma. George from Georgia. Welcome, George from Georgia. I absolutely love it. Okay, a couple of things I want to talk about while we wait for, I almost said Kamala, the Ugandan giant. If you can't stand cackling Kamala, give me a yeah in the comments right now, because she just absolutely drives me nuts. Okay, so we have live breaking news today, Saturday, August 3rd, where the discussion is revolving around, this is a big issue. Vice President Kamala is allegedly afraid to debate former President Donald Trump. Can you guys believe this? Oh yeah, we need to talk about this for a second. This is absolutely huge. So the hashtag #ChickenMala has been gaining traction because Kamala claimed back, this was a couple of days ago, this is somebody who could not win a primary, has not earned a single American vote, you guys. She cannot win a debate, for her life depended on it. And then she has the audacity to say this not that long ago. Check this out. Holy macaroni. Wait till you see this. Listen to her. This is her at one of her fake rallies not that long ago.
I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you got something to say, say it to my face.
So essentially, what she was doing is she threw down the gauntlet to a debate that was pre-planned back when Joe Biden was president. But guess what? Joe Biden, he ran out. He's done. He left, right? And so that debate was actually promised to face Joe Biden. Okay, but here's the interesting thing. So the interesting thing here is, and wait till you see this. The interesting thing is, I'm keeping an eye on to make sure I don't miss Trump. So check this out. So Trump issued this on Truth Social, saying, "I've agreed to a Fox News debate with Kamala on Wednesday, September 4th. The debate was previously scheduled against Sleepy Joe Biden on ABC, but has been terminated in that Biden will no longer be a participant, and I am in litigation against ABC Network and George Slopadopoulos." I love that nickname for him. He'll probably talk a lot about that in the debate, in the rally today. Oh, I can't wait to see this rally. If you're excited for this rally, give me a capital yeah in the comments. Thereby creating a conflict of interest, the Fox News debate will be held in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at a site in an area to be determined. The moderators of the debate will be Brett Baer and Martha McCallum. Thank you, Mary. I love you. Thank you so much. Of Fox News, and the rules will be similar to the debate with Sleepy Joe, who has been treated horribly by his party, but with a full arena audience. Now, here's what I don't understand. Why in the world would cackling, phony, fraudulent Kamala, why would she not agree to that? Can somebody explain this to me? Why would she not agree to that? Tell me, make it make sense. How does that make sense? So I want to throw to you this statement, okay, that Kamala made on X. Everybody follow me on X, by the way, because I do a lot of stuff on X that I don't do here on YouTube and other places. So make sure you follow me on X if you haven't already. I'm just going to throw the link in the chat. So here's Kamala debate statement where she essentially reneged on this, and so she basically said, "No, I'm not going to do that." So this was her statement. Let me share this right here. So this was her statement saying, Donald Trump is running scared and trying to back out of the debate he already agreed to. So this is false. And the reason I'm just playing this and talking about this, we're just waiting. Trump has not set to take the stage for another 20 minutes, if not longer. Donald Trump is running scared and trying to back out of the debate he already agreed to. Now, that is false. That is 100% a lie, Kamala. You're lying to your billions and millions of followers. Not billions, not even close, barely any millions. I don't understand how the most unpopular vice president in the history of our government, just 2-3 weeks ago, the entire left woke mafia media, as well as all of the big donors, all of the big Democratic consultants, leaders, pundits, etc., they couldn't wait to get rid of her. Now they're behind her 1,000,000,000%. Does that not tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans? The fake news is not only just fake, they are corrupt, egregious, gigantic, ginormous LADs, lion-ass dogs. Somebody give me a capital LAD in the comments right now. Holy mackerel. So that's a lie, because the debate that he agreed to was with Joe Biden. That's a complete fabrication. So he's running straight to Fox News to bail him out. He needs to stop playing games and show up to the debate he already committed to on September 10th. Lie again. He didn't commit to a debate. Look at all these LADs. I love you guys. LAD, lion-ass dogs. lion-ass dogs. And you got to say it like that, too. Good to see you, the Palmetto Travelers. Who are my favorite travelers? Well, the Palmetto ones, for crying out loud. Good to see you. My favorite travelers are here. Big shout out to you. So that's a bold-faced lie. This creature cannot stop lying. She might just be the heavyweight champion of LADs. At first, I was going to give that title to Cash Money G, Madam Fannie Willis. But I think I'm going to give that to cackling, empty, vapid, vacuous, soulless Kamala Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, the stakes cannot be higher. This is the most consequential election of our lifetime. Oh, here comes JD Vance. Let's listen to JD Vance. So Kamala is just a big, big fat liar. Here we go.
All right. Well, it is great to be in Atlanta. Hello, Georgia. In 93 days, we're going to take back our country and elect Donald J. Trump once again. It's going to start right here in Georgia. Now, let's recap the last month in political history. We have to remember, just over a month ago, President Trump wiped the floor with Joe Biden on that debate stage, exposing a massive cover-up of the president's mental incapacity. He saved America from 4 more years of the disaster of Joe Biden. And during that same time, Donald Trump accepted our own party's nomination with overwhelming support. We held the most successful convention in history. He took a bullet for this country and didn't miss a single day of work.
Woo!
He did that in 1 month. Just imagine what he's going to do with 4 more years. Ain't that right? Now, after covering up Joe Biden's incompetence for the last 3.5 years, our friends in the media are at it again. This time, they're gaslighting us on Kamala Harris's radical record. They want to portray her as some kind of sensible moderate, despite all evidence to the contrary. Now, this is the same media that told us, remember, my friends, for 3.5 years that Joe Biden, who couldn't complete a sentence, was Albert Einstein. And now they want to tell us that Kamala Harris is Abraham Lincoln. But anybody who is too blind to see Biden's incompetence, or let's be honest, too dishonest to admit it, doesn't deserve to be commander-in-chief. Kamala Harris is not getting a promotion to the presidency of the United States.
You guys have to think about this. She lied to the American public for 3.5 years.
Now, the Democrat Party bosses would like to install her as their new nominee and as the next president. But remember, she has not received a single vote for president. Let's actually give Democrat primary voters some credit, because in their primary in 2020, Kamala Harris was so unpopular, she didn't even make it to the first vote being cast. She wasn't in the top 3 in her home state of California. And the reason is Democrat voters know what every American agrees with. America is never going to elect a San Francisco liberal who's so far outside the mainstream. We're not going to elect Kamala Harris as president. Now, let us count the ways of the disastrous policies of Kamala Harris. 500,000 kids. I was at the border just a couple of days ago. 500,000 kids have been trafficked by the drug cartels because of her policies. She was the border czar. The media lies to you, but she was. Hardworking Americans cannot afford groceries because of her policies. Gas and energy are through the roof because of her policies. Housing prices are out of control because of her policies. You cannot let in 20 million. Fact check. Kamala Harris was the most liberal United States senator during her entire time in public service. as America's borders are. Kamala Harris unleashed the worst border crisis in American history. 10 million illegal aliens have invaded this country. The total, that's what they say, that's the official number, it's probably more than that. Biden and Harris, on day one, they suspended deportations. They stopped building the border wall. I saw it just a couple days ago. It's sitting there on the ground, ready to be finished, but Kamala Harris won't let them. They reinstated catch and release. Then they proposed amnesty for millions of illegal aliens. Kamala Harris turned Border Patrol into a travel agency for the worst criminals and terrorists all over the world. Now, we have a different message, President Trump and I do. If you're in this country illegally, start packing your bags. You go home in 6 months.
Hello. I like that. I like the sound of that.
But we're not done yet. The border isn't the only thing Kamala Harris has wrecked during her time in office. In 2021, she was the tie-breaking vote on $2 trillion of reckless spending that juiced this inflation crisis and sent a lot of money to China. Well, I don't think we should send money to China. I think we ought to keep it right here at home. Remember the Inflation Reduction Act, which was really the Inflation is a Disaster Act.
Awful.
She cast the deciding vote, triggered the worst affordability crisis in generations. And at the same time, she said that high gas prices were, quote, the price to pay for democracy. A woman who's never earned a vote for President of the United States. That's the price for democracy. Well, it's not the price for democracy, my friends. It's the price we paid for her failed leadership. Now, Harris wants to ban fracking, ban offshore drilling, take away your gas cars. And by the way, I think in America, you ought to be able to drive whatever the hell you want to, because this is America.
Hello.
And we believe in freedom.
Hello. Hello. How about a return to common sense?
She wants to take away your gas stoves. She even wants to take away your ability to eat red meat.
What in God's name is that all about?
That's how out there she is. That's real. The fake news will fact check it. They'll fact check it true. She actually said that. In other words, she thinks that she's better than us. She thinks she's better than you. She thinks she's smarter than you. She thinks you need to be told how to live your life. But this November, let's tell the Washington elites, let's tell Kamala Harris, mind your own damn business. We're electing Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Now,
USA. You never hear this at a Democratic rally anywhere. You never hear this at a woke rally ever. Why not?
Now,
I don't think Kamala Harris loves America.
Every time the Democrats attack us and attack our movement, they can't help but tell on themselves. They reveal how much they hate the American people. Now, remember this. Remember, Barack Obama said we cling to God and guns. Remember that? Hillary Clinton called us deplorables. And now Kamala Harris says we're weird. Well, Kamala, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about some things that are weird. We think it's weird that Democrats want to put sexually explicit books in toddlers' libraries.
Oh.
We think it's weird that the far left wants to allow biological males to beat the living crap out of women in boxing.
Hello. Hello. Boy, this crowd is raucous.
We think it's weird for a presidential candidate to bail convicted rapists and murderers out of prison, and that's what Kamala Harris did. And I think it's especially weird when Kamala Harris comes to Atlanta. I believe came here to this arena. Kamala Harris comes to Atlanta and talks with a fake Southern accent, even though she grew up in Canada. You can't make it up. That's pretty weird. Go watch the clip. She sounded like a Southern belle, even though she grew up in Vancouver. It doesn't make any sense. But on November 5th, she can go back to using her San Francisco accent because we're going to send her packing and we're going to reelect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Now, we can handle the made-up attacks by Democrats and by the media because we're used to it by now. But here's something I can't stomach about Kamala Harris. It's when she has the nerve to question our loyalty to this country. And she does. Well, here's what President Trump and I believe about loyalty. Loyalty to this country is closing our border, not opening it up.
Exactly. 100%.
Loyalty is making life more affordable, not causing inflation because you can't stop sending money like a drunken sailor. Loyalty is safeguarding Medicare for American citizens, not bankrupting it by sending it to illegal aliens, which is what she wants to do. Loyalty is protecting Laken Riley, not allowing an illegal immigrant to take her life. Loyalty is serving in the United States Marine Corps, something I am proud to have done. Loyalty is taking a bullet for this country, something Donald J. Trump did.
Woo! I love this. This is the most energetic.
Kamala Harris, if you want to see the face of disloyalty, look in the damn mirror.
USA.
Now, for decades, we've gotten used to it. Politicians in Washington have sold out this country. We got to remember when the multinational corporations and the lobbyists called their offices, a lot of them traded American jobs for campaign cash. Now, they'd never admit that, of course. They'd brag about trade deals and they'd promise cheap products. They called it globalization, and that's what it was, sending American jobs to some other part of the globe instead of keeping them right here at home. And if it's up, my friends, if it's up to Kamala Harris, it's going to keep on happening.
Hear, hear.
Remember her record. She voted to preserve NAFTA, the very trade deal that sent American jobs to Mexico and turned American dreams into nightmares. Now, she's asking us for a promotion, and I think it's time to say to Kamala Harris, you're fired. The American dream is dying under Kamala Harris. But we're going to save it. We're going to save it for every American, regardless of color or creed, and we're going to do it when we reelect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. That's why we got to do it. You know, President Trump knows a few things that the Washington politicians forgot. He knows that 1 million cheap plastic toys from China is not worth a single American manufacturing job. We're going to rebuild American manufacturing. We're going to rebuild the factories. We're going to rebuild the American dream, and we're going to stamp more products made in the USA. It's a beautiful thing, and that's what we're going to do. Now, I've seen the consequences of electing failed politicians like Kamala Harris. I've seen it in my own hometown, because more often than not, it's the people the Bible calls the least of these that suffer the most when Kamala Harris doesn't do her job. They like to say they're for the little guy, but it's the little guy who hurts the most when Kamala Harris fails. Now, a lot of you know my story. You know how I grew up. I was raised by a strong woman, a Christian grandmother who loved the Lord, but also loved the F word. Ladies and gentlemen, she was a study in contrast. I think there are a few out here just like it. Now people ask me, how is it that you were able to grow up in a poor family, grow up in a family that was struggling, had a lot of chaos and a lot of trouble? And the answer is because, one, this is the greatest country in the world and the American dream is still possible. The second answer is because I had a mamaw who was tough as nails, and she kept me on the right path. Now, I could tell you a lot of stories.
Mamaw. That's so cool. They're chanting for his grandma.
Tell you a lot of stories. One of my favorite mamaw stories is when I enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps. She was very proud of me, of course, but it was a time of war, and mamaw was not happy that a recruiter had persuaded me to enlist in the Marines. So I remember he came over to our house and started to walk up the steps to her porch, and she said, "Look, if you step one more foot on my porch, I'm going to blow that thing off." And she had 19 handguns at home, so that was not an idle threat. But that strength and that discipline allowed me to achieve my dreams, and things worked out for me because we love our country. It's a great country, and because there are women like mamaw all over this country making sure kids are able to achieve their dreams. Thank you. But let's be honest, there were some tough times too. And this goes to the point about Kamala Harris's failures. I remember the reason mamaw raised me is because my mom struggled with addiction for a big chunk of my early life. And I'm proud to say that she has been clean and sober for almost 10 years now. I'm so proud of my mom. Thank you. And for all those struggling with this terrible problem of addiction, no, there is hope and there is recovery. It's worth it. You got to keep fighting for it. But we support you and we support your dreams for second chances. But wasn't always that good. Didn't always think that I would get a second chance with my mom. I remember being a kid, waiting at the bedside of my mom, angry that she had taken something she shouldn't have taken, and just praying to God, even though I was so mad, praying to God, please, Jesus, just let her wake up. Don't let this thing be the thing that took her life. And the unfortunate truth, my friends, is that the poison that Kamala Harris has let into this country means there are a lot of kids like me who are not going to have those prayers answered. We're going to remember who we're fighting for. And it's the kids at the side of those bedside tables begging God for their parents to wake up. We're going to make sure that happens. We're going to fight for the people who are struggling in this country. And the contrast between an America led by Kamala Harris and an America led by President Trump, it couldn't be more clear. Remember, President Trump's vision was closed borders and open factories. Kamala Harris's vision is the exact opposite: open borders and closed factories. Kamala Harris, she wants bigger government that can tell you what to do, and she also wants smaller bank accounts, which I think a lot of us have seen. But Donald Trump, by contrast, delivered record paychecks and the strongest border in history. What an amazing record of accomplishment. Kamala Harris wants to ban fracking and buy energy from every tin-pot dictator all over the world. Donald Trump wants to drill, baby, drill. Let's get it from our own workers and our own territory. Kamala Harris wants to raise your taxes, and she wants to make it easier for companies to ship jobs to Mexico and China. Donald Trump wants to lower taxes for hardworking families. In fact, he already did it, and we want to reward companies that hire American and buy American. It's all about protecting the workers of this country. Kamala Harris wants to defund the police and let violent criminals out of jail. Donald Trump wants to lock up the bad guys and back the blue, and he did it for 4 years. He's going to do it again. So I want to send a message out there to those who are struggling, those who are trying to make ends meet. If you're scraping by instead of thriving, I know what that feels like. I know what it's like to choose between paying off the credit card or buying groceries. I know what it's like to watch families fall apart under financial stress. I know what it's like to worry that a parent will never kick that habit, and I know what it's like to worry that that habit is going to eventually claim their lives. But I also know that our national motto is "In God We Trust," and God tells us not to despair, but to hope. Hope. And while the media likes to lie about this movement and this party, this movement of ours is about a simple idea. We love this country enough that we will never give up hope, and we will never stop fighting for a better future for everybody, whether they vote for us or not. If you're an American citizen, we love you, and we're going to fight for you. Now, we know that in this election, the best way to give our people hope for the future is to re-elect the guy who already did it and did it very well, Donald J. Trump, the once and future president of the United States. In just a few months, I believe this state of Georgia is going to lead a great American restoration, a restoration of safety, of prosperity, and yes, of hope. We're going to secure our borders. We're going to kick out the drugs and the illegal immigrants. We're going to rebuild American manufacturing. We're going to bring jobs back to this country, and we are going to buy American, for our people. It's going to start in Georgia. God bless you all. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to be your next vice president, and we're going to win Georgia and win this country. I love you all. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow. Wow. Okay, I have to mute it here really quickly. Wow, what a speech from JD Vance. That was absolutely phenomenal. You know, I'm starting to like this guy a lot, more and more. I am starting to like this guy. He is absolutely showing. At first, I think there was a little bit of trepidation. You know, I was not, I didn't know that much about him. I actually watched the movie Hillbilly Elegy. I'm ordering the book. How many people have read the book Hillbilly Elegy? I've heard the book is a million times better than the movie, even though I think Glenn Close did a great job. But yeah, I didn't know that much about it, but I'm really impressed. Here's another thing to really kind of denote about what's happening with, I hear some people in the comments are telling me, no, just talk about what you're going to do. Don't worry about what Kamala and Joe are going to do. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but you got to understand this is their track record. It's really important that you remind Americans there are more people now, just like myself. I used to think that my neighborhood was safe. I used to think that I could take my son and my kid to the museum at the local, not local, but the closest metropolitan city that I live in without giving out my location. I don't feel that way anymore. I can barely afford groceries. I can barely afford my mortgage. I can barely afford the bare necessities. My energy bill is out of control. My property taxes are out of control. Consumer goods and products out of control. It's important that we understand this is a woman who said Bidenomics was working. This is a woman who is now running for president of the United States, who literally was the worst DA in San Francisco history. I dare you to go to San Francisco right now. You will not even recognize San Francisco. It is a complete dystopia, San Francisco. Hey, it's good to see you, Angie. Good to see you. Peter Ortiz. Yes, we need balls. Everybody type big capital balls. We need courage. We need our country back. Our country is bleeding. It's decaying right before our very eyes. We need to get our country back. Then she became the Attorney General of California. California is a train wreck. How many people have heard that Chevron is now leaving California? One of the biggest companies on the planet is removing their headquarters. Do you know how many millions, billions in tax dollars that's going to take away from the state? And now he's going to have to circumvent that and buffer that by taxing citizens more. It's just a fact. I live in California. It's tragic. ETA 326. We're just waiting for Trump now. I'll take some questions if you have any questions. ETA 326 says, don't you think it's weird that they tried to KILL? Yes. Our president, after he said he's going to expose JFK and Epstein documents? That is a great point. And I'll tell you this. I've done several videos on this, and they have been heavily suppressed by the woke bosses in charge. It has not made me happy one bit. I just talked to the CEO of Rumble. I see some of you guys are coming in from Rumble. I just talked to the CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovsky. I told him my concerns. He tells me he's working on it. Whether you like it or not, let me just get off topic for 2 seconds. I swear I'll come back. Whether you like it or not, YouTube is our hub. It's our headquarters right now. We are live on Facebook. We're live on Rumble. But I'm telling you right now, there's no greater video platform than YouTube. And I know some of you guys might be saying, Nez, why are you on YouTube? YouTube's run by woke people. I know that. But guess what? What's more important, me being concerned about woke bosses and their ideologies, or me being able to reach millions and millions of people? There is nothing that is comparable to the reach of YouTube. YouTube is the king of video. So I talked to the CEO of Rumble. I begged him. I said, look, you have a great opportunity to not only compete with YouTube, but to usurp YouTube. But you've got to find a way for creators, media companies, small independent media companies like myself to reach more people. The reach is just not there. A lot of you guys know who Doug in Exile is. I've talked to Doug about this too. Doug just got his channel removed from YouTube. Poor guy. He was a fantastic channel. I told him, I said, have you even thought about Rumble? And he's like, no, there's no point. If Rumble was working, we would all be there, which he's right. I can't argue with that. So this is why I'm telling the president of Rumble, Chris Pavlovsky, this is your opportunity. And he tells me they're working on it. So follow me on Rumble. I'm at Professor Nez everywhere, Facebook, Rumble, YouTube. Follow me on X at Professor Nez. But my videos have been suppressed. My videos have been suppressed talking about the assassination attempt on President Trump. It absolutely broke my heart because I put my heart and soul into those videos. And I've said this in that video, and I'll say it again right here. I am the farthest thing from a conspiracy theorist. By the way, I'm not even a right-wing, political ideology. A lot of people think, Nez, you're such a right-wing conservative nutbag. No. I'm not right, and I'm definitely not left. I am, if anything, a constitutional centrist. I love America. I believe in our framers. I believe in the vision, the values, the principles engendered by the framers of our Constitution, the founding fathers, in this amazing, beautiful, glorious republic called the United States of America, where there is no other country on planet Earth that can compete with the opportunities, the freedoms, the constitutional liberties that America affords. There's nothing that can compare to that. Nothing. People want to call me a right-wing extremist, whatever, because why? Because I care about secure borders? Why? Why would you call me that? Because I actually care about our boys in blue? I actually believe in law and order. I believe in what Marcus Aurelius, the ancient Greek philosopher king, says: you can't have a society without law and order. I believe in our police. I believe in our law enforcement. I believe in common sense laws that state you don't give a child life-altering puberty blockers, not knowing what the long-term healthcare ramifications are before the age of consent. I actually believe in hiring the best person. I think DEI is a cancer on our country. America is about the best idea wins. America is about the best person, regardless of a trait that you have zero control over, such as skin tone, sexual orientation, color of your skin, etc. See how I muted the mic so you have to hear my nasty sneeze? God bless me. I just sneezed. If that makes me a right-wing nut job, then ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans, call me a right-wing nut job. To me, that just means practicality. I say make America practical again. Make America a meritocracy again. That, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans, will make America great again. How many of you can afford groceries right now? How many of you have gone to the gas pump and felt your heart flicker in shock? How many of you people have actually, been shocked at your energy bill? My energy bill, look, it's summer here in California. Somebody asked me a question too. Nez, why in the world are you still in California? We're just waiting on Trump. I think Trump's arriving very shortly, and we're going to listen to this amazing speech. Hang out. Also, members, stick around. I want to hang out with you too. People say, Nez, why are you living in California? Number one, California is beautiful. I've lived here for over 30 years. I was born in Utah, Logan, Utah. Any Logan, Utahites in the comments? I was born in Logan, Utah in the early 70s, and I was raised in Evansville, Indiana. So I have family, all the rest of my family live in Virginia. So my roots are Midwestern, but I've lived in California for over 30 years, almost 40 years. And this is where I've lived. And believe me, when Gavin Newsom pulled what he pulled, I wanted to leave. But I've planted roots here. My kids have school. It's not that easy. I have kids that are not fully grown. My wife and her family are here too. So, and by the way, there's a part of me that still wants to, aside from all that, there's a part of me that wants to fight for this amazing, glorious state. It's a beautiful place. It is a beautiful state. And it is so heartbreaking. I did an entire live stream podcast show on this, going through everything that Gavin Newsom has done to destroy my great state. It breaks my heart every day to see what's happening. Elon Musk is leaving. We have record-breaking exodus, record-breaking budget deficit, record-breaking crime waves, record-breaking smash and grabs, record-breaking attack on police, defunding departments, defunding police departments, defunding unions all across the state. In-N-Out is a perfect example. In-N-Out left Oakland. Now, In-N-Out is one of the most successful, not only businesses of all time, but the most successful restaurants in the history of food, in the food and beverage industry. They left Oakland, not because business was bad, mind you. They left Oakland because they couldn't assure the safety of their employees. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. This is the most consequential election of our lives. Do you vote for these anti-American, pro-terrorist, woke ideologies that have nothing to do with our values, our principles, where our forefathers are turning in their graves? Or do you vote for practicality? Those are your choices, my fellow Americans. Those are your choices. And yes, do I think Trump is ahead in the polls? Do I believe all the BS CNN polls? Definitely not. But this is no time to be complacent. This is no time to rest on your laurels. I am going to fight like hell. I am going to fight till my dying breath, because this country has given me everything. This is my way of giving back. Media is the greatest power on earth. We don't believe in violence. I don't believe in civil war. I don't believe. I just like Tucker Carlson, I hate violence. I don't like violence, okay? And so this is the greatest way to influence people. This is the greatest way to show them the truth, what the woke mafia media will not show them. So I've got Peter Ortiz. I love Peter. Tap that thumbs up, y'all, because it helps us reach more people. It's not vanity. It helps us reach more people. I support right-wing nut jobs. Yes, you do. I love it. I absolutely love it. I support right-wing nut jobs. That is fantastic. So we're waiting on Trump right now. So, I mean, I kind of, long story short, I didn't mean to kind of ramble there or rant there. I just, I really, really feel that strongly about it. Now, here's an interesting story, live breaking news. I think I should talk about this. This is really interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. Let me. We're waiting for Trump right now. But Doug Emhoff, husband of U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, had an affair. He had an affair with their nanny, Najin Naylor, during his first marriage, resulting in Naylor becoming pregnant. This information has been reported by various sources, including the Daily Mail, and has been widely discussed online. The allegations suggest Emhoff's first marriage ended due to this affair. The story has sparked discussions and potential impact on Harris's political career. This guy seems like such a nut job to me. Let me share this really fast, and I'll kind of bring this up. So this is the nanny here. I guess that, let's see, and this is a video.
Congratulations, honey. I am so proud of you. You're going to get this done. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
Oh, he is so cringe. He is so cringe. It's not even funny. So I guess that's his first wife, where he had that very bizarre woke daughter. Okay. And look, I'm a family man. I'm not trying to go after anybody's family. But if you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to tell me that Trump is the worst thing that ever happened to our country, and that your wife, Kamala, is the best thing that happened to this country and the best thing that could happen to this country, to me, that's fair game. You've basically allowed yourself an opportunity to be hammered into the earth. To me, this guy is just such a pencil dick weasel, much like the construct and in the likeness of a weasel shift. He has no backbone. He has no guts. He has no balls. He's a total beta male, zero balls. Kamala wears the you know what in the relationship, not only the pants, but she has the balls in the relationship too. And so it's grotesque. And so this is a pretty big story that's happening right now. It's kind of making some serious airwaves. Let me just see if I can find some more on this. According to the report, Emhoff got teacher Najin Naylor pregnant, who worked as their nanny at their children's private school. Way to go, Emhoff. Total hypocrisy. Total hypocrisy. We're still waiting on Trump. Trump is coming up, guys. According to a close friend, the affair happened around 2009. Naylor did not keep the child. However, there was a mysterious baby in her social media posts dating back to 2009. A mother who sent her children to school before 2009 said she was aware of the affair, and though she was disgusted by Emhoff, she only had positive words for Naylor, who had taught her children and nannied them on family vacations. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. So this is what's happening right now. So this is a really, really big story. And I wonder, what do you guys think? I'm going to throw this out to you guys. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? How do you think this is going to impact? How do you think this is going to impact Kamala's campaign? Or do you think it won't have any impact at all? What do you think? This is really, really big. So this is your husband? This is the guy who cheated on his first wife, which was the result of ending that marriage, and got her pregnant And I mean, that says a lot about your character. Remember, who you choose to be around, who you associate with, who you decide to spend the rest of your ever loving life with, that has a lot to do with kind of a testament to your character. It really does. Thank you, Beaten Cheeks too. The reason for all the world's chaos is the one world government, the World Economic Forum, Marxist Nazis. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Let's see. Let's get some comments here. What do you guys think? Jeff Boston says Democrats have no shame and they cannot be embarrassed, so it doesn't work to shame them. Kevin Kwong, it's so good to see you. Kevin Kwong was a former student of mine. Kevin, it's so great to see you. Kevin says, no impact at all. I mean, talk about double standards. Absolutely. Kevin, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You've always been intelligent. You've always exercised critical thinking and critical discernment in my classes. And you've shown yourself to be an amazing exemplar of that as you mature and get further along in years. Mr. Kim Enterprises, LLC. Somebody give a big round of applause for Mr. Kim. Come on in. Welcome to being a new member. It's great to have you. Welcome aboard. Don't forget to go to our community tab. Maybe one of my mods can share a link to our community tab where there is a link to the members only Discord. This is for members only. That Discord is thriving. Now is the time to become a member, y'all. Highly, highly recommend it. D, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. LV Nation Admins is in the house. Love your content. Like, comment, subscribe. LV Nation. Who's LV Nation? That sounds great. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. LV Nation. That sounds, I pardon my ignorance, but I don't know. It doesn't come off the top of my head. LV Nation. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know he's kissing. That is Joe Biden. Yes, that's Joe Biden. Remember the famous photo at the State of the Union where it seemed like it was a prolonged, used kiss? Yes, that is him. That is him and Joe Biden. So a little bit more news about this scandal. The woman did not. So the woman, Naja Naylor, did not deny the story when approached. Let's see here. Hold on a second. So she did not deny the story. Here, let me share this one instead here. So this just came out literally today. And yeah, I mean, the media is not going to cover this. The media is completely behind her, like completely behind her. Yeah. Kamala Harris's husband. So apparently this, I don't know how you say that name, Naja Naylor, she did not deny that this story existed. So I'm seeing a lot of people saying that LV Nation is a great channel too. That's fantastic. I'm so proud. Thank you. I'm sure I've watched. Oh, Lou Valentino. Oh yeah, I know Lou. Yeah, Lou and I talk all the time. Okay, I know Lou. Lou and I talk on X a lot. I'm going to have Lou come on the show too. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I can't imagine that. No, I can't. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much to James ZW. Good day. Mods, salute from an Army vet. Salute you. Thank you for your service. I appreciate you. We all appreciate you. We all love you. Welcome anytime here. You are home. You are home. It's happy and honored to have you here. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You are amazing. LV Nation, yes. Lou Valentino. Okay, that makes sense. I look like a complete dope. Yeah. All right, we're just waiting on Trump here. So here, let's talk about some more. Let's talk about some more breaking news. So getting back to let's see. I was talking about the her denying wanting to be wanting to debate, right? So she says, this is what she says. So she says this, and let me just pull this up so we can hold on one second. She says, "Oh, he's afraid to debate me," but actually, that's not true. He's not afraid to debate her. He agreed to a September 10th debate when it was Joe Biden, not when it was Kamala Harris. And by the way, she just had a recent virtual conference. She just had a recent virtual conference which nominated her. I mean, I think this is so important to reiterate, you guys. The Democrat Party, okay? Carolyn the Italian, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, Professor Nez. First time here. I think Trump has the numbers, but the cheating is a problem. What they did in 2020 was horrific. What do you think about 2024? Oh, gosh. Such a good question. First of all, Carolyn, and if I'm saying that right, Caroline, I apologize. If it's Carolyn, give me a 1 in the chat. If it's Caroline, give me a 2. I want to get your name right. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me up all the time. That's the kind of stuff that literally keeps me up all the time, because I will never forget that fateful November day back in 2020 when I went to bed. It was really, really late at night. All the votes had not come in. All the tally had not come in. And there was about 4 swing states, the most important swing states, that all showed Trump with a significant lead. So I went to bed about midnight, because my bedtime, I'm an old dude. I go to bed at like 10, 11. I wake up early too. I'll never forget going to bed thinking, well, that's it. He's going to win. He was ahead in Wisconsin, ahead in Pennsylvania, ahead in Georgia, and I believe, I can't remember if it was Ohio or Michigan he was ahead. And I went to bed thinking he's got this in the bag. The first time in the history of my life of any election that I've ever seen, witnessed, was when the first time it's ever happened. I went to bed and one candidate was significantly in the lead, only to wake up and there be a complete 180. And then I see that awful, grotesque, vomit-inducing phone call between phony Kamala and where she's calling him, Joe, you won. I'm so congratulated. Oh my God, that voice. If we ever get enemies from an outside planet, all we need to do is just put her voice on loud mega speakerphone. No alien will come near this planet. Guaranteed. That's a guarantee. So I think about that literally all the time, Carolyn. And did she put a 1 in the chat if it's Caroline or Carolyn? Are you still here, Carolyn? I'm sorry if I put it in. So it is Carolyn. Okay. So Carolyn. Okay. 1 for Carolyn. Okay. Thank you. I just want to make sure I get your name right, Carolyn. So I think about this all the time. And Trump says the way to leverage that and circumvent that is to be too big to rig. I agree, but I disagree too. I think it can't just be too big to rig. I think it has to be impossible to rig, which is why I don't care what the polls say. I don't care if they say he's ahead. I don't care. I mean, we remember all the polls in 2016, right? I don't care if it says they're neck and neck. It has to be bigger than too big to rig. It has to be a tsunami. It has to be so impossible to rig that there's no way that it could ever come to fruition, because I'm worried about that. I think they are. I truly believe, and by the way, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I truly believe that with all the due diligence, qualitative and quantitative research I've done on what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. We were live when that happened too. Oh, that was a traumatic experience for me. Most of my mods and my Discord members remember I had a hard time catching my breath after that live stream because I was so shook. of what happened on July 13th. It's hard to believe it's been 3 weeks, 3 weeks to the day, July 13th. I wonder what's going on with the feed here. I may have to switch feeds here. It looks like it's looks like the feed is getting anyway, I'll switch that if I have to. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I have said boldly, audaciously, and with full conviction that I think something happened. I don't think it was an accident. I don't think Thomas Crooks worked alone. It was definitely by design. So if they're willing to take his life, you better believe they've got contingency plan after contingency plan. And I'm telling you right now, if Kamala wins in November, it's going to be insane. We're not the kind of people that, engage in violence, but that might just be the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know. God, do I dread that happening? Do I wish upon every fiber of my being that doesn't happen? But it's terrifying. I lose sleep over what they're going to do in November, because there is no doubt in my mind that what they did in Butler was orchestrated, because Biden didn't drop out until after that failed assassination coup. We've turned into a banana republic with our lawfare. What happened in the fake Don Juan Merchan case? They've thrown every charge and indictment at him in the book. They've tried to bleed him, bankrupt him, smear his name, and they tried to end his life. So I lose sleep over that. I genuinely lose sleep over that. Thank you so much, Prince of the Cats. I love that name. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. If I had one question to ask Kamala, it would be, has your family paid any reparation to the families they enslaved? Oh my God, I love that. Oh, that is a great comment. She is the ultimate hypocrisy. Welcome, Carolyn, for being a new member. Thank you, Jim Barron. Jim Barron, for gifting a membership. You are awesome. Yeah, I love the way you said that, Prince of Cats. I absolutely love the way you said that. She is the giganticest. That's a word, by the way. I just invented it. She is the most giganticest phony that has ever lived. I mean, I really do. Cash Money G. Fannie Willis is about as vapid, vacuous, empty, unqualified, and vindictive as they come, and completely selfish and narcissistic. But her mentor is this empty-headed, empty soul. I've worked with these people. I know these people. Trust me when I say this. She is the absolute devil incarnate. I'm not just saying that subjectively. I'm saying that objectively, if you can believe it. She is so narcissistic, egotistical, vicious, hateful of America, hateful of due process, hateful of anybody. Everything they say about Trump being vindictive, he goes after his enemies. Kamala does that to the 100th degree, 100 times worse than Trump ever could be. That's a guarantee. You got to understand, when I say House of Cards, I mean House of Cards. Frank Underwood looks at Kamala Harris in awe, in awe. If you know what I'm talking about, you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. By the way, Frank Underwood, he's not a Republican in the show. He's a Democrat. Big shock. The Democrat Party just made Kamala Harris their official nominee for president. This is despite the fact that not a single person voted for her. Not one American. She won exactly goose egg delegates. The vote to nominate her happened literally a few days ago, virtually, online, with zero transparency. She's done zero, count this, goose egg, cero, nada, holada, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. She's done zero sit-down interviews or press conferences. Huh? Her campaign has been giving statements disavowing the radical left-wing positions she took in 2020. Remember, there was a government site that did a poll. She is the most liberal senator in the entire Senate, left of Bernie Sanders, if you can believe that. Nobody voted for her. Nobody even knows what she believes because all she does is attack Trump. Nobody even knows if she likes America. Nobody even knows if she understands anything about American history. Nobody even knows what her qualifications are. She was a DEI hire. The only reason she's vice president is because she fit all those check boxes. Yet the party just nominated her and now expects Americans to vote for her. This is how the party of democracy operates. That is the most important thing you need to think about in November. We already know what she stands for. I hear people in the comments say, Nez, no, don't just attack her. Talk about what we're going to do. We know what we're going to do. We're going to return to a meritocracy. We're going to return to common sense. We're going to return to law and order. We're going to secure the border. We're going to give businesses their businesses back. We're going to drill so we can cut down energy costs, make gas affordable, make your energy, your utilities bill affordable. We already know he's going to end the war in Ukraine. He's going to end giving all our taxpayer dollars to President Zelensky, who doesn't deserve it. Hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of our hard-earned tax dollars. We already know what he's going to do. We already know what he's going to do. We need to go after, okay? What's super, super important is we need to go after this sham, this absolute sham known as Kamala. She's going to destroy our country. It's a fact. She doesn't care about America. We need to keep pointing out she did not earn a single vote. This is not how she has circumvented millions and millions of people who voted against her. Remember, she dropped out of the 2020 presidential race before Iowa. I think he's coming out right now. Trump's about to come out. You know why she dropped out before Iowa? Because she couldn't get, her popularity was abysmal. Abysmal. It was so bad, she was in the bottom tier. She was the lowest tier, as a matter of fact. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Trump. I'll play the audio once the music goes down because I get copyright strikes for the music, even though I love the music. I really do. And I'm proud to be I can't sing it either. It sucks. Because all these publishing companies, they immediately strike you with a DMCA, a takedown. So he's coming up right now, it looks like. Grab your popcorn, grab your drinks. This is going to be fun. Oh, is this going to be fun, y'all? This is the guy who's going to save us. This is a guy who's going to make America a meritocracy again, make America safe again, make America powerful again. Can you imagine the whole world seeing tombstone vegetable in Chief Biden? How many people saw what he said when the reporter asked, what do you say to Vladimir Putin, in Ukraine? He goes, stop. It was pathetic. It was embarrassing. It was an abomination. How can you be the leader of the free world? You're not even the leader of your own diaper. You don't even have control over the diapers you're wearing, pal. Oh, we have some work to do, y'all. I'm never going to stop. I am never going to stop. I hope you will join me. If you haven't already, please tap that thumbs up. Subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Subscribe. Turn on all notifications. Hit that bell and turn on all notifications. The best way to do it is to subscribe to our free newsletter. That's in the pinned comment right now. It's in the show notes and description. Subscribe to our free newsletter. And that way, it's free. Just give us your best email. That's it. We don't share it. I don't sell it to any third party. I don't do any crap like that. This is just so you never miss out on all the latest breaking that the woke mafia media, fake news, won't share with you. So it looks like he's about to come out right now. That's right, Jan. Good to see you, Jan. I'm going to do a shout out. By the way, let's do another roll call. Where are you joining me from? Give me a city, state, country. I'll give you a huge shout out. Paul Webster says, Nez, I don't think you get a hit for copyright for I'm Proud to Be American. Yes, I do. I've gotten it before. You don't think I love that song? You don't think I bleed that song? I sweat that song. That's how much I love my country. Are you kidding me right now? It pains me to no end that I have to mute the audio. They will take down this entire stream. They've done it before. Trust me. Arlington, Washington in the house. Jim Barron, one of our best mods. Great to see you, Jim. Score hit from Hartley, Iowa on Rumble. Make sure you follow me on Rumble at Professor Nez. I am Professor Nez everywhere. Angel Fire is in New Mexico. New Mexico in the house. You got a prale with me. That's not even a Mexican accent. I'm just having fun. Cheryl Holmes in the house. Small town, Minnesota. Tennessee is in the house. Jerrietta, good to see you, girl. Come on in. Wisconsin in the house. Texas, Germany. I love it. I absolutely love it. Jackson, Florida in the house. Horse Nuts. Talk about an amazing name for a channel. I should have named this channel Horse Nuts. I love it. Texachusetts. I love it. Judy's in the house. Texachusetts. What does that even mean? I love it. Angie Warren's in North Carolina. We need your state. Come November. We need your state. Margaret, we need your state. By the way, this is so important. Please heed this. Your local initiatives. Go out, grab your neighbor, grab your nephew, grab your niece, grab your uncle, grab your dead great-great-grandfather. Everybody needs to vote. You need to advocate. You need to advocate in your neighborhood. Arizona in the house. That's how we're going to make our country great again. Every single time, cackling Kamala and Tombstone Biden. Fargo, North Dakota, Peter Ortiz in the house. Detroit, Michigan in the house. LV Nation, Lou Valentino. Is that a city and state? I guess it is. Give a big shout out to Lou. I love Lou. I love Lou's channel. I love everything he's doing. He's phenomenal. L with the 199 super chat. Thank you. Indonesia in the house. Bali. Fantastic. Welcome. Welcome aboard. It's so great to Arlington, Texas. We need you, Texas. There's a lot of Californians in Texas now. There's a lot of Californians. Boy, I tell you, I love Texas. Love Texas. Texas loves Trump, quite frankly, probably more than any other state. Trump 2024. Somebody is from South Wales, Australia. I think that's Lynn Edwards. Welcome, Lynn Edwards. It's great to have you here. Let's see. Do they have music? Yeah, they still have music. So I gotta mute it. I gotsta. If you haven't followed me on Rumble yet, follow me on X as well. I'd love for you to follow me on X. If you're not on X, X is the greatest free speech platform next to Rumble. So make sure you follow me there. X/Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. Make sure you follow me there. Gallatin, Tennessee. Robert Littlejohn in the house. How you doing, Robert? Good to see you. Lisa Fountain says we all need to get more active at the local levels. That's where we're going to make the most difference. Rory says, Kentucky, Madisonville. Good to see you. I used to live in Indiana, Evansville, Indiana. Holy macadamia nut. Mescal, Arizona in the house. Holyoke, Colorado. UK, Manchester. Good to see you, Denton. And we've got Duran from Melbourne, Australia. Great to see you. Thank you so much, Emil. I love it. Emil with the $2 super chat. I remember you. Great to have you back. Thank you, L, with the $4.99 super chat from Destin, Florida. I love it. Eastern California in the house. Jethro Troll. That's a great name. Gotta love it. The Republic of Texas. Jim Newberry in the house. Now would be a good time to give shout outs to the people I missed. Major Pain, fight, $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, JR the Crusader. She thinks debates are weird. Thank you so much, JR the Crusader, for the $1.99 super chat. Air bump. You are fantastic. Howie has been a member for 2 months. Howie, you are the best. He's also an awesome member in our Discord. Remember, as soon as you become a member, if you join our channel, you get access to our members only Discord. Mods, make sure you share that link to join and the link to the community tab. Chuck Kreina. I love Chuck Kreina. A little support from us mods. You're the best. JR the Crusader with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, JR. Thank you so much. ETA326 for the $4.99 super chat. Yep, I remember your question. Peter Ortiz is the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, ETA326, for the $1.99 super chat. Fight. Love you, Nez. I love you back. I love you back. I love our country. Let's get our country back. Beaten Cheeks, thank you so much for the $5. Mr. Kim Enterprises, welcome. Jim gifted a membership. You guys are fantastic. You guys are just fantastic. Look at that. Peter Ortiz just gifted 10 membership. Everybody, let's give Peter Ortiz a huge round of applause. Peter, you are just absolutely phenomenal. There's nobody like you, Peter. I appreciate you so much. Always leaving great comments too. Always insightful, thoughtful. I give a huge shout out to Peter Ortiz. I think Peter Ortiz, I'm so happy you're here, Peter. Peter is a true patriot. He loves his country, like all of us. And he understands the truth. He understands what the woke mafia media is doing. He understands what the global elites are doing. Peter, I salute you. I salute you, Peter. It's so fantastic to have you. Fantastic. That is such a sweet gift. ETA326, tuning in from the A Kamala. You're fired. Thank you, ETA326. Do you have an easier name there or a nickname? Give me an easier nickname. Peter Ortiz. Everybody give Peter Ortiz a huge shout out. Yeah, he's amazing. He just gifted 10 memberships. That is fantastic. Somebody leave a link. Captain Mike, please leave a link to our community tab so they can join the Discord. That is so awesome. So what that means is, E asks a great question. What does it mean when someone gifts a membership? That essentially means they're gifting a monthly a membership just for 1 month. I think they have to renew it if they want to stay. To our channel, which gives you so many perks, so many amenities. Not only do you get access to our members-only Discord, you also get priority responses, priority questions answered when we get live stream guests, priority shout-outs on live streams, badges next to your name, special features next to your title. So you get a whole bunch, exclusive content, exclusive info behind the scenes of our channel. So it's a really great thing. It only costs you a cup of coffee a month to be a member and support our channel. All my videos, all my live streams, all our productions are free. And so it's just a way for us to build community. You get to join people with a like-minded cause. It's just awesome. And it only costs you a cup of coffee a month. You literally spend more than that every single morning, the first 30 seconds of your day, for crying out loud. And so what Peter has done is Peter has gifted 10 memberships to people in the chat. And if you just got gifted, give me a comment. Say, hey, I got gifted, and I'll give you a shout out. I love that. Carolyn says, my whole Italian, legal is the key word. My parents were immigrants too. Legal. And they went through hell to be legal. What Biden and cackling Kamala want to do is they want to accelerate the pathway to citizenship, zero screening, zero process, zero protocol, zero parameters. Just boom. Oh, you're illegal? Here. Who are you going to vote for? Me. Okay, cool. They just want to buy votes. That's it. Thank you, Carolyn. Provo, Utah in the house. Kitty Soup is next. Palmetto Travelers, South Carolina in the house. Who are my favorite travelers? Well, for crying out loud, it's the Palmetto Travelers. Who else could it be? Those are my favorite travelers. Make sure you have your gifts turned on. Is that for the members, Lori, or for me? I have gifts turned on, I think. Robert Littlejohn says, God save America. That is awesome. Oh, Elle was gifted. That's fantastic. Yeah, everybody thank Peter for that. You are the best, Peter. You are fantastic. Great to have you here. Come on, Trumpy. We ain't got all day. Come on, Mr. President. We need you. We need you now. Bronx prosecutor Kemp Neal resigns after kid meeting allegations. So live breaking news, William C.C. Kemp Neal, a Bronx prosecutor, resigned from his position following allegations that he attempted to meet a 13-year-old boy for sexual purposes. Why are all these woke mafia political leaders, why are they all pedos? I just don't understand. The accusations came to light. What is wrong with you people? The accusations came to light after a video was posted by the group Dads Against Predators, which exposes child predators. Kemp Neal, who handled cases involving assault, harassment, and child endangerment, holy mackerel, made $84,990 as an assistant district attorney. The incident has sparked widespread discussion online. Holy macadamia nut. Let's see if we can see this video right here. Holy mackerel. Let's check out this video.
Excuse me, everybody! This man right here! Give me the 13-year-old boy! This man is a pedophile, and you're saying Marcus is a pedophile trying to meet a 13-year-old boy. Let's go. Let's go. Get his bitch ass. He's trying to fuck a 13-year-old boy. Oh, no. Yes, you are. Hey, what you here doing, Marcus? You trying to meet a 13-year-old boy? Yeah? You trying to meet a 13-year-old boy, Marcus? No. This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy. No, you want to take him to get a milkshake, right, Marcus? No, I didn't. You didn't, Marcus? Now you got your ass in a full Nelson right here. Getting yoked up. Child predator in the Bronx trying to meet a 13-year-old boy. Excuse me, everybody. This man right here here to meet a 13-year-old boy.
Good for these.
What you get for trying to meet a little boy? Child predator. Child predator right here. Yeah, you trying to get a milkshake with him, huh? You trying to get real familiar. What you trying to do? I was trying. Hey, get your ass, yo.
Wow. Wow. That is insane. Holy macadamia nut. So, again, that was William C.C. Kemp Neal, a Bronx prosecutor. He has just resigned. This is live breaking news following these allegations, and that was the video right there. He quit his job at the Bronx District Attorney's Office after Dads Against Predators posted that video that we just saw. The men in the video accused Kemp Neal of trying to keep up with a 13-year-old. William Kemp Neal worked here as an ADA from June 28th, 2020 until July 17th, 2024. He resigned from office, a statement from DA Darcel Clark's office said. Kemp Neal has not been charged with a crime. Wow. What do you guys think about that? Holy mackerel. God, kudos to the Dads Against Child Predators. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, that's another thing, too. Well said, Palmetto Traveler says, and ask yourself why Democrats refused. They did refuse to back a bill that Republicans put forward to make punishment of pedophiles far more serious. I mean, this party is demonic, y'all. And by the way, this isn't even the Democrat Party. This is not the Democrat Party from 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. This is a radicalized, highly extreme, anti-American, demonic, woke mafia. There's something weird going on. Everybody, let's give a big warm welcome to Paladouche. Paladouche 7 has become a brand new member. Welcome, Baladush. It's great to have you with us. We are going to be, we're waiting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is coming out very, very shortly. Stick around, everybody. Tap that thumbs up. It's so nice to have you with us. Excuse me. Wow, that was an amazing video, though. That was pretty intense, I got to say. Very, very intense video right there. Holy mackerel. You see, there's also a new report saying that the U.S. presidential election polls show a tight race between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala. National polls and analyses indicate a close contest, with some showing Harris with a slight lead. That is absolute preposterous. There is no way that that could be true. The dynamics of the race are influenced by factors such as voter demographics, campaign strategies, and the evolving political landscape. That's just absolute BS. But you know what? I don't care if it's neck and neck. I don't care what these polls say. Most of these polls are complete fabrication. We all remember what happened in 2016. They said Hillary was ahead by 20 points or whatever. And guess who won in 2016? So what's crazy is that here's my reaction to that. My reaction to that is I don't care if they say Trump is ahead by 50 points. We do not. Michael, I just talked to the CEO of Rumble. I'm going to tell you what I said to him. We do not let our foot come off the gas. We need to go full steam ahead, pretend it's the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and we're down by 20. That's how we need to act. We need to work 10 times as hard, pointing out the hypocrisy, pointing out the egregiousness, the anti-Americanism, the anti-exceptionalism, the anti-populism of this demonic, radical, extreme left-wing party. Because we know what Trump's going to do. Trump's going to give us money back in our pockets. Everybody's going to prosper. I guarantee you everybody will prosper under Trump, just like we did before the pandemic. And so we need to pretend like we're down 20 points. That's what we need to do. We know what's going to happen. So Michael says if Rumble just fixed its usability, and thank you, Michael, for being here, functionality issues would be much better. Search function notification, prioritization, ID. Yes, all of that stuff. What they need is a comparable recommendations algorithm. That's what they need. They need something comparable. This is the best opportunity for Rumble to surpass YouTube, not just compete, but surpass, because my channel is being suppressed. More and more people's channels are being suppressed. Doug in Exile's channel got completely removed. And so, I hope I talked to Chris Pavlovsky, who is the CEO on X. I talked to him about all the problems, okay, with all the problems with Rumble. And he said he would look into it. He appreciated the feedback. I told him about the usability. I told him about the UI UX. I told him about the discovery and reach systems. He said they're working on it. They're working on it day and night. So I'm rooting for Rumble, because I know Rumble is a champion of free speech. Yeah, that's right, Carolyn. Yeah, I know George. George and I are good friends. I've talked to George many times. Yeah, George is off of YouTube as well. His channel got removed as well. Emil, thank you so much. Emil just gifted 5 new memberships. You are awesome, Emil. Thank you so much for that. That is fantastic. Zynga got a new membership. Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Audra. You're awesome. Yeah, that's a great gift. That is a great gift. We are moments away, my fellow Americans, Nez Nation, my fellow patriots. We are moments away from hearing President Donald Trump speak in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're just waiting for him to arrive. We had some live breaking news that just came out. So, yeah. This is why I constantly advocate that we need to work hard, because now the problem is you've got this huge DNC machine that is backing Kamala. You've got a huge media conglomerate, all of the woke fake media. Thank you so much, Kevin, for the $4.99 super sticker. You rock, Kevin. I'm so proud of you, Kev. I'm so proud that you're here. Absolutely. Congrats to the new numbers. Thank you so much, Kevin. She's got this gigantic woke mafia fake news media corporation behind her. And so now, I mean, just a week ago, they were saying how awful she was. Just a week ago, they were saying how awful she was. And now all of a sudden they love her. Now she's the best thing since sliced pie. I mean, what is going on here? It's actually a beautiful thing because the media has exposed itself. The media, 2024 has been the year of exposure, exposing higher ed, which I was a part of for a very long time. Higher ed is not a learning institution. Higher education in the United States of America is indoctrination camps, period. I know, I have firsthand experience, and that's part of the reason why I left. I couldn't take it anymore because they are not learning institutions. They are indoctrination camps. They've exposed Biden for who he really is. They've exposed the radical woke mafia media for who they are. They exposed these anti-American protesters for who they are. They tried to assassinate Donald Trump. Oh my God, Peter, you are out of control. Peter is out of control. Thank you, Squeaks, for the $4.99 super chat. I heard the Dems take homeless off the streets and give them money to go vote. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Thank you, Squeaks. Ladies and gentlemen, another huge applause. Give a huge shout out to Peter Ortiz. Peter, you are absolutely amazing. Peter, I want you to send me your address. Give me an email. I'm going to send you some shirts, some hats, some stickers, some mugs. Send me your address to my email, okay, Peter? Because I want to send you a bunch of stuff. That is so amazing. 20 memberships. Holy macadamia nut. That's on top of the other 10. So it's 30. And I don't know, there's probably been a couple in between. Holy mackerel. Okay, it looks like the president's about to come out. Peter, you're amazing. I cannot say enough nice things about you. You are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you so much, Peter Ortiz. Everybody congratulate Peter Ortiz. Well, where's JD Vance? What's JD Vance doing?
Let's rebuild America.
It's good to see you all again. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to hear from the next president of the
Yeah.
United States?
Everybody grab your popcorn, grab your favorite drink.
That wasn't quite loud enough. Are you ready to hear from the next president of the United States? Remember, 8 years ago, Donald Trump had everything: fame, fortune, family, friends. He gave up the easy life so that we could get our country back. He traded everything he had for unjust persecution, for slander and scorn from the fake news, all for this country, for you and me. They couldn't beat him politically, so they tried to bankrupt him. They failed at that, so they tried to impeach him. They failed at that, so they tried to put him in prison. They even tried to kill him. But as sure as the American flag still waves in our beautiful sky, Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the once and future President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Okay, so I got to mute the music while he comes up to the stand, but yeah, isn't that great? Here he comes. Finally, this is awesome. I put a new poll up on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Rumble, and you want to come over and be a part of the polls, come on over. I always feel so inspired. I always feel a renewed sense of love, compassion, energy, vitality after hearing Trump speak. I always feel a new love for my country, so invigorated after hearing Trump speak. I've never felt that way. Never, not once. After a Biden speech, I've never, not once. I mean, even I'll give props. I thought Obama was a great communicator. I thought he was a great speaker. He had great elocution. He was erudite, articulate. But guess what? I think he was the divider in chief. He's the worst thing that ever happened in this country. But I did feel inspired after some of his speeches. I'll be honest. I have not felt one molecule of inspiration after Biden speaks. I have not felt one molecule of inspiration after cackling phony Kamala speaks. Not one iota. Have you? That's the new poll right there. Let me know. I'm just waiting for the music to go down, and then I'll put the volume on. There we go.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much to the next Vice President of the United States, JD Vance. He's doing a great job. You know, they go after JD. You know why? He's for the worker. He's for people that get out and they want to work. And frankly, they are people that have been taken advantage of, and he doesn't like it. And he's done great. He's done great. He's been everything we could have expected and much more. So, JD, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you to Atlanta. I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Georgia. I love Georgia. With thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. Crazy Kamala, ultra left, you know that. She was here a week ago, lots of empty seats. But the crowd she got was because she had entertainers. And it all started to unfold when they started to leave about 10 minutes into the speech. It was very boring. I don't need entertainers. I fill the stadium because I'm making America great again. That's our entertainment. That's our entertainment, making America great again. And I have to tell you, we have thousands of people outside, and the state was terrific, but the fire marshal, I will say, could not have been better. Thank you to the fire marshal. But the school administration stopped us from getting another 500, 600, even 1,000 people in. Thousands of people were told no, and that was okay, but we could have fit another 600 people. So I don't know anything about the school. I don't know anything about this school, but they could have allowed more people. You got people standing outside. Look at all the people outside. They could have come in. They could have come in. So we're not happy. Hello out there. And then they actually pushed the people very far away from the building where we have beautiful cameras set up for the overflow crowds, the administration of the school. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be sending anybody to the school. I'm not happy about it.
If they're going to stand in the way of admitting people to our rally, just imagine what they're going to do on election day. We're not going to let that happen. 94 days from now, we're going to win the great state of Georgia in an epic landslide.
Woo!
And we're going to defeat crazy Kamala. You know, there's about 19 different ways of saying it. She only likes 3. Biden never even came close. Kamala, Kamala. No, it's Kamala. We're going to evict this radical and incompetent administration from the White House. They're destroying our country. We're going to save our country. We're going to save our country. Yesterday, it was announced that unemployment is surging with 350,000 Americans joining the unemployment rolls just last month. Tell you what, we could end up in a depression. We could end up in World War III and a depression. How about that? Could happen too. Under Harris-Biden policies, we now have the highest unemployment rate in 3 years. Just came out yesterday. Even I was surprised. Those numbers were terrible. If Harris wins this election, you will quickly have a Kamala economic crash. You're going to have a crash. You could also have a crash like in 1929, more specifically, because that's where we're heading. When we win, you will rapidly see a brand new Trump economic boom. It's going to be booming.
Everybody's going to prosper. Everybody. It's a guarantee.
With your vote, inflation will stop. The illegal aliens will be turned back. They're not coming in. We got to stop them. Did you see where she's now saying, oh, we had a very good border. Oh, great. They had the worst border in the history of the world. It's all misinformation. That's all they're good at. That and cheating on elections. They're very good at that. The cartels will be crushed. Crime will plummet. Incomes will soar. The wars will end. And the American dream will come roaring back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before, right? Yes?
I love it when he goes off script. Biden can't do that.
With 4 more years of Kamala, the California socialist, you know, she destroyed San Francisco.
Yep.
Then she destroyed the whole state. Look at what's going on in California. With your family and our country, it'll never recover. If you have any more time with these people, it's already, I'm worried about the next 3 months, if you think about it. These people are grossly incompetent. You'll end up in World War III. I'll tell you. And I hope I'm not right about that. You know, you ever see the hats? Trump is right about everything. I don't want to be right about that. Her policies of open borders and double-digit inflation, inflation like we've never seen before. It's destroying middle-income families, working families, all families. Will demolish your life savings. 40 or 50 million illegal aliens will invade our country during the next 4 years if they're in. 40 or 50 million. Medicare and Social Security. You know, she said she wants to put everybody on health care. You know, that's wonderful. It's all wonderful. First of all, they shouldn't be told to come here. Many of them were fine where they were. But no country can sustain this. Social Security will buckle and collapse. The suburbs will be overrun with violent crime and savage foreign gangs. That's what they're doing. You know, they're sending all their gangs into the United States, right? Look, there's front row Joes. You didn't get into the front row. What happened to you? What happened? Thank you. We have front row Joes. They've been to 229 rallies. And then look at these people. These, I call them the beautiful ladies, and you're not allowed to say that anymore. It's the end of your political career. You say beautiful. You're barely allowed to say ladies, right?
Yeah.
Because that could also be destructive.
Unbelievable.
But they're beautiful, they're ladies, and they're great. And they've been to 216 rallies from North Carolina. They look great. Happily married. I got to talk to their husbands. I don't know. They're way over 200 rallies, and they're incredible people. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate it. Together we will stop Kamala Harris's nation-wrecking. I'll tell you what, when you see what she's done to our nation, she's wrecking our nation. The radicalism will take back our country from the worst administration in American history. Biden was the worst president in the history of our country. She's acknowledged to be the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Facts. Facts.
She doesn't have a clue. You know, if she doesn't have a teleprompter, she can't even speak. Did you see her the other night? They put a camera in her face. She can't even talk. We just went through 4 years. Let's not go through another.
Come on. Exactly. Yes.
Can't talk. No, it's terrible. You know, by the way, I'd like to congratulate Vladimir Putin for having made yet another great deal. Did you see the deal we made? Now, look, we want to get people in. You know, we got 59 hostages. I never paid anything. They released some of the greatest killers anywhere in the world, some of the most evil killers they got, and we got our people back. But boy, we make some horrible, horrible deals, and it's nice to say we got them back. But does that set a bad precedent, Bert? Right? Does that set a bad precedent, Bert? Harris has the most ultra-left-wing agenda of any presidential candidate ever in history. There's never been anybody like this. She is considered more left-wing than crazy Bernie Sanders. Look at her. She's worse than Bernie.
More left.
And she happens to be really a low IQ individual. She really does. She has a very low IQ.
No, she does.
We don't need a low IQ. President Xi of China said, oh, good, we have another one, a low IQ individual. They love dealing with low IQ. They love dealing with low IQ people, and they got him here. I'll tell you, we got them all. She is terrible. She's worse than he. I think she's worse than him. By the way, they really took it away from the guy, right? I don't feel sorry for him because he's a bad guy. You know, he's weaponized the whole thing, and nobody's ever done that in this country. But he's a bad guy. But people feel sorry for him. They did a coup. He just doesn't know it. But actually, he does know it. You know that. They said, Joe, you got 14 million votes. It's yours, but you're going to give it up. You're going to give it up right now, Joe. You're giving it up right now. No, I'm not. I was elected democratically. I was elected. No, you're giving it up, Joe. We're either going to do it the nice way or the hard way, Joe. You're getting the hell out. And it was the debate performance. So here's what happened in the debate. You know, there was the highest rated debate ever, and which was a great compliment.
He loves ratings. He loves ratings.
And as I left the debate stage, I took off because other people were entering the stage. You understand?
Yeah.
I said, I don't want to confront other people. So we had a great debate. But as I left, CNN, I won't say who, but they said that was the single greatest debate performance I've ever seen. And this went on for 2 days. They were saying how great I was. On the third day, they didn't mention that anymore. They said he was terrible. I liked it the first way better. I made him choke. Don't kid yourself. We made him choke. He was choking like a dog. He was choking. He was choking like a dog.
How do you not love this guy?
And that was the end of him. I mean,
Like
that was
a
the end of
dog.
that. Then they said, okay, this was a disaster. So then they started doing interviews with people that are, 100% bought. The media, the fake news media, they had some people interviewing him, like George Slopadopoulos.
Lion Kamala, you're fired. I like those posters.
ABC. ABC's one of the worst, by the way. They're all sort of bad when you get right down, but ABC's bad. And they're asking him hardball questions like, where did you stay last night?
Slopadopoulos.
Did you think you did well in the debate, even though you could? Did you ever see a guy in a debate, they give you like 2 minutes to answer. And you want to use up, you got so much fertility in there, you want to use up every second. And he'd answer a question. You have 92 seconds left. And I kept saying, I'll take them. And he said, you have 92 seconds left. He goes, oh. This is not what he wanted. He left a lot of time on the board. But I went right down to the last second. I didn't want to go a little bit over because I know they'd cut me.
Oh,
They
yeah.
would have cut me. But they were very fair, actually, CNN, shockingly, honestly. They were very fair. They want to do another one. You know, we're doing one with Fox if she shows up. I don't think she's going to show up. She can't talk. She can read a teleprompter. I'd give her about a 6 on a scale of 10, 6. For talking, I'd give her less than a 1. We need people that can talk. Kamala pledged to give free taxpayer-funded health care to all illegal aliens. How do you like that idea?
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
Which will destroy Social Security. She called for the abolition of ICE. Listen, ICE, I know some people here. 2 of them are really tough guys. They're fighters. They're vicious people. They're good, tough people. They don't want to work for ICE. ICE will go into a pack of MS-13 killers and thugs. And for about 2 minutes, you just see fists flying back and forth, and then they stand up and they win. And they grab them, they throw them in a paddy wagon, they get them the hell out of the country. And she's calling them the equivalent of KKK, okay? And she loves deadly sanctuary cities. By the way, all of the things you're hearing now, she's now denying. But you know, the one good thing about the internet, you press a button and you got it. Although they are trying to delete everything. You know, they changed the picture of me from a couple of weeks ago, and they really radicalized it. They changed it, you know, using AI, they changed it. They had all the people on the stage who were angry, and they were smart and sharp and very brave, and they had them all big smiles on their face. Can you believe that? They put the agents, who I have to tell you, say what you want, those people were brave. They were running to me, and the bullets were flying.
Yeah, that's true.
The Secret Service.
That's true.
They were very brave. They were very brave, I can say.
Yep.
They were very brave. They were running at me, and they knew the bullets were going right over my head at that point. The first one was not a good situation. Not a good situation. That was really something incredible. That was from God. That was from God. Because the chances, that was from God.
He's
For
right.
all of you non-believers, that one was for God. Right?
God bless. God bless. That was insane. A millimeter if he didn't turn his head.
Close. But I just want to say, while I'm here, though, they were very brave. They pounced on me. They pounced on me, and I heard those things whizzing over me. They were whizzing, and I have to say that because you know people take abuse, and there were mistakes made. There were mistakes made, pretty bad ones, but the bravery of that moment was incredible, and also that the sniper, the Secret Service, who's a phenomenal, talented shooter, one bullet from hundreds of yards away, if he doesn't hit his target, and he hit his target, boom. But from hundreds of, if he doesn't hit the target, then you have Corey and a lot of other people that are dead. Corey was great. 2 other great gentlemen, warriors, great Trump people. We love them. And they're really, we thought they were going to be gone too. The doctors were incredible. They did a great job, an unbelievable job. But if that sniper, and he had 5 seconds to think. He did not know about it beforehand, by the way. He had 5 seconds. He saw the flash, and he knew what that was. And within 5 seconds, he got off his shot. 1 bullet, think of it, 1 bullet, and that was the end. Otherwise, you would have had many people dead. He did a hell of a job. And that was from a very far distance. That was from basically about triple the distance. It was a much longer shot. So we want to thank him, and we want to thank all of the people in Secret Service for their bravery, because they were very brave. I mean, this was a bad thing. Very brave. But she refuses to even say the words illegal alien or radical Islamic terrorist. She says, nope. And the main thing, think of this, she wants to let mass amnesty and citizenship. She wants all illegals to have mass amnesty, everybody. Even criminals, because many of them that are coming in are from prisons and jails and mental institutions, insane asylums. They hate when I use Dr. Hannibal Lecter as the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Oh, they go, look at all the media back there. Look at all the fake news.
Fake news. Fake
That's
news.
a lot of fake news. That's a lot of fake news, Bert. But she doesn't want to get involved. Look, here's a story. When a politician says something young in life, that's where they are. That's what they believe in. Defund the police, all the things that she said, that's where she would go if she ever got the chance. She's never going to get the chance. Our country will be destroyed. She's worse than Biden. She's worse than Bernie Sanders. She's Bernie Sanders, but not as smart.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the way I view it.
That's true.
I said she's a dumb version of Bernie Sanders and actually further left than him. She supports mandatory gun confiscation. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that. Would anybody mind if they came into your house and took away your gun or your guns? Oh, I'm shocked. I'm shocked to hear that. She's for taking away all of your guns. The problem is they won't take them away from the bad guy. The bad guy's not giving up the guns. The good guys are going to, oh, well, yes, ma'am, here's my gun. Thank you. Now you're totally defenseless in your house. No, you can't do that. She said that a 70 to 80% tax hike is, quote, a bold idea that should be discussed. Oh, that's nice. She co-sponsored the $100 trillion Green New Scam. She wants to abolish all oil and coal and natural gas. We want to work on wind. We want to have wind blowing. She vowed to ban fracking. She wants the government to stop people from eating red meat. She wants to get rid of your cows. No more cows. No more cows. Oh, it's serious. You know, in Europe, you smile and you think about it. But in Europe, they're sort of doing it. They don't want any cattle. She wants to get rid of gas-powered cars and replace them with all electric. They don't go far. They cost too much. They're all made in China. Other than that, they're fantastic. And I'm for electric cars. I have to be, because Elon endorsed me very strongly, Elon. So I have no choice. But he knows. No, I am for him. I'm for him for a small slice is a slice. But you want to have gas-propelled cars. You want to have hybrids. You want to have every kind of a car imaginable. They want to go all electric. And there's no way you can ever load them up. They call them loading them. You can't load them. We're going to have to spend $9 trillion in the Middle West. You saw they built chargers. Now, a charger is a gas pump with electricity come through it. Is that good? So it's like for 8 chargers, they spent $9 billion. Is that a good deal? So at that rate, it would be $10 trillion to charge up the country. The whole thing is crazy, right, Mr. Preacher? She wants to get rid of 2 very special words to me. And I came up with this because I noticed when you went into stores, I used to go into stores. Now I wouldn't want to go into stores because they have everything under lock and key. You ever see they have bars up, they have glass up. I don't know how you can do business like that. I'd like to buy a toothpaste, please. Oh, wait till the clerk comes. 25 minutes. The clerk. They open this heavy glass armored door. How the hell do you make money doing that? It used to be that if somebody robbed your store, you would be very tough about it, right? Now, Kamala started this. Anything under $1,000, you can do whatever you want. And these guys are sitting out there. You ever see them? They've got paper. Okay, you go ahead. Oop, that's over that. Drop that back. Put that. There's no crime if it's less than $1,000. She's the one who started it. She is a lunatic. She wants to get rid of these 2 very special words. You remember I used to bring it up all the time in 2016. By the way, we did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016. But these are minor details. We did much better. They said, what was the difference? I said, well, we got millions of more votes, as you know that too. But we're not going to let that happen again. Ready? The 2 words are Merry Christmas. She doesn't want anybody saying Merry Christmas. Now she's denying it, and then they found the tape last night. She's such a liar. She denies all this stuff. She said, I was not the border czar. She was the New York Times has a headline, border czar. She was the border czar. She was the worst border czar. She was the worst czar in history. Kamala's radical ideas belong in a San Francisco commune filled with far-left freaks, but they do not belong in the White House. They do not belong in the United States of America. This November, Georgia is going to tell Kamala that we will not let her turn America into a communist country. Remember, I used to say, we will never be a socialist country. Well, I was right. They skipped socialism. I was right. I was right. It will never be a socialist country. I'd say that. State of the Union, I said, we will not ever allow our country to be a socialist country. I was right. It's gone communist. It skipped socialism. It never stopped. The train never stopped at the socialism world. The world of socialism, not a good one, but the world of communism is many times worse. Now that they've swapped out Biden, is he going to the Democrat convention? This is the big question. I'd like to go to watch Kamala get sworn in as they ripped it away from him. They took away his presidency. What do you think, Mr. Congressman? You had a very good speech. Didn't he make a good speech? What do you think about ripping away their socialism there? What do you think about ripping away the guy's presidency, right? No, it's not democracy. Remember the words they use? They are a threat to democracy. They've been saying that about me for 7 years.
He's on
I think
fire right now. He's so right about everything.
He's a threat to democracy. No, I'm the one that is saving democracy.
The hypocrisy knows no bounds.
They're
saving it. He is saving democracy. They're such insidious hypocrites, this party. They will lie to your face and say, don't believe your eyes, don't believe your ears.
Wow.
I want one of those signs. I'm going to put it right in my studio. Somebody get me one of those signs.
No, we're saving democracy. Wow. I'm going to use that more often. I've never used that before. I'm always hitting them. I should say instead, I'm going to save democracy and get a nice ticket. It is true, though. Certain phrases get amazing response, like, I will keep men out of women's sports. Now you find out I'm right. I used to use the barbells. I said, now all you have to do is look at the boxers. This young girl from Italy, a champion boxer, she got hit so hard she didn't know what the hell hit her. It's a person that transitioned. He was a good male boxer. Yeah. He was a good male boxer. And she didn't even go down. He hit her with 2 jabs and she said, I'm out. How crazy is it? The weightlifters are great though, because they put a 1/4 ounce here, a 1/4 ounce here. And she goes, by the way, First Lady of the United States hates when I do this. She says, it's so damn unpresidential. I said, but the people like it. Right, Marjorie? She doesn't like it. She's a very elegant woman. She doesn't like it. Should I do it, Marjorie? So, no, our First Lady, she said, your speech was great, but this weightlifting thing is so unelegant. And please don't imitate him not being able to find stairs, because every time you do it, they say it was you that couldn't find.
Yeah, they take clips of him.
Sure. I'm very careful because the press is among the most dishonest human beings in history.
Yes, he was right about fake news from
Bruce
2016.
knows. The great Bruce Lavelle, stand up. Bruce.
Yes, I have,
He's
Peter.
been with me from before I ran. He was with me in 2014, saying that guy in New York should run. He'll be great president. That was long before I even read. I didn't even know about it. I think you might have convinced me to run. I don't know. Some of these people, some people have been with me long before I ran. They would say, Trump should run. that we had Romney. Remember Romney? And they did polls. Romney and Paul Ryan, what a combination that
Oh
was.
my God.
Whoops, there we go off Fox. Fox just won. No, Paul Ryan's on the board of Fox. What a mistake that was. But they had Romney and Paul Ryan. What a team that was. They got clobbered. They got clobbered. The choice of this election could not be more stark. On the one hand, you have a radical left freak. You have a candidate who is fake, fake, fake. On the other hand, you have a president who will fight, fight, fight for America. Fight, fight, fight. I will, I promise. I will.
Right. Guy took a bullet for democracy. These guys claim democracy's on the ballot. This guy took a bullet.
By the way, the fire marshal, I love him. Could the school people allow, there's some seats right up there. They could let him come in. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Let the people come in. They're standing outside, thousands of them. Let them come in. It's obviously, Marjorie, a very liberal school, I guess, right? I'm not happy with the school. Let them come in. They're standing. It's 95 degrees out. Let them come in. There's some seats.
He thinks about everybody else.
Thousands of people. They won't let them in. A Harris presidency. You know why? Because they don't want to show that we're successful. That's all it is. They don't want to show. She has to go get entertainers. They start leaving as soon as she opens her mouth. Well, Hillary used to do that too. I remember she got Bruce Springsteen. I'm not I'm not a huge fan. I have a bad trait. I only like people that like me. Does that make sense? And these people like me, Bert, right? These people like me. No, Hillary used to do it all the time. She got the idea from Hillary. Hillary got Bruce Springsteen, I'll never forget.
I do
the
too.
The place was pretty full. Not full like our places are full. And I don't have a guitar.
Love fest. It's a love fest.
I don't have a guitar, but our places are bigger. We get more people than anybody. I don't care how many guitars they have. You know, in New Jersey, we had 107,000 people come. Nobody has that. Nobody. In Alabama, we had 68,000 people. In South Carolina, we had 82,000 people. That had closed up the whole state. We even did one in the South Bronx in New York. Rough place, but boy, it was love. 25,000 people.
Love fest.
It was love. It was love. But I'll never forget that Hillary, and they were all saying, oh, she drew, 25,000 people or something. Then he finished with the concert. She starts speaking and everyone's leaving. I said, that's not working out so good. That's not working out, right? But I don't know. You have to be real. If people show up, people show up. But to do that, I don't know. There's something pretty phony about it. But she had somebody. Who did she have? Who was the entertainer that she had, Yeah, that's what I think. By the way, the entertainer couldn't fill the place either. Even with the help of the school's trying to get students, please go. This is embarrassing to us. Please go. No, wasn't Hillary a beauty when I campaigned against her? She said, look at him. Look at him. Just look at those words he uses. He will start wars. No, I had no wars. I got rid of ISIS, 100% of ISIS, but that was already started. I was the one that had no wars, first time in 80 years. In California, Harris was the original Marxist prosecutor. She was in the role of Fannie Willis. Has anybody ever heard of Fannie Willis?
Oh, my God. Cash Money G in the house.
You know, Fannie Willis is a good friend of your governor. You know that? Your governor. I'm not a fan of your governor, but she was in the role of Fannie Willis or Larry Krasner, George Gascon, Alvin Bragg of New York.
Oh, my gosh. Awful DA.
He goes after me because of the Justice Department. Never happened before. The DA of San Francisco, Harris shielded illegal alien crack dealers from deportation. She wouldn't let them be deported. She fought like hell. She wouldn't arrest criminals of the worst kind. She wouldn't arrest murderers. She wouldn't arrest anybody. The state has gone to hell. Gavin Newsom is the worst, one of the worst guys. Gavin Newsom. But she was the one that started it. She ruined San Francisco, ruined California. As California Attorney General, she defined and redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person raped as nonviolent. These were nonviolent crimes. We shouldn't even prosecute these people. To help spring child predators and dangerous criminals out of prison all over the state. And during the left-wing riots of 2020, you saw that she urged her followers to donate to bail rapists and murderers out of jail while saying that the violent mobs should not stop. They should not stop. She said she was endorsing to fund the police. And she said, violent mobs, let the violent mobs keep going. Let them keep going. We love what they're doing. We love what they represent. This is the lunatic that the fake news is trying to build up to be the next Margaret Thatcher. You know, 4 months ago, she was considered grossly incompetent by the fake news. Now they're saying, oh, isn't she wonderful? Isn't she wonderful? No, she's not wonderful. So we have to work hard to define her. I don't want to even define her. I just want to say who she is. She's a horror show. She'll destroy our country. For years, she has pushed legislation to strip police officers of any protection. They have no protection. Anything they do, they get sued, they go bankrupt, they lose their house, they lose their family, they lose their pension. They ruin their lives. They want to ruin their lives. She was the worst at ruining police officers. And by the way, I have the endorsement of virtually every police organization in the United States. Almost every. And when I'm president of the United States, again, we will never defund the police. We will only overfund. We're going to overfund the police if we have to. I will always give our law enforcement heroes the protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. And like other Marxist DAs, and she was the first of them. She was horrible. She was horrible. She had a very good friend named Willie Brown. I liked Willie Brown. He knows more about her than anybody's ever known. He could tell you every single thing about her. Could tell you stories that you're not going to want to hear. Like other Marxist DAs, Kamala supports abolishing cash bail, which means bloodthirsty criminals that just killed somebody can immediately leave custody, go out and kill somebody else, which by the way, they often do. Under these kinds of woke radical left policies, Atlanta is like a killing field, and your governor ought to get off his ass and do something about it.
Oh, he's so right. Wow, that is power. That is strength. That is leadership, folks.
Just a few weeks ago, 2 13-year-old boys were murdered and an 11-year-old was shot while sitting outside their house in southwest Atlanta. In June, a 47-year-old man, a 69-year-old woman, and a 70-year-old woman were shot in the middle of the day, shot right through the head in the food court of Peachtree Center, what a nice name, in downtown Atlanta, where you can't even walk anymore. The shooter had been previously arrested 11 times, but they think it was 24 times. He'd gone to prison for assault and armed robbery many times. Since I was president, aggravated assaults in Atlanta are up 17%, and there's a 20% increase in shoplifting and a 90% increase in overall crime. Murders are up massively. Murders, you go to the store, I want to buy a loaf of bread, darling. You come back, ma'am, I'm sorry, but your husband's been killed. He went for bread.
That's unbelievable.
Across the street. He's been shot to death, ma'am. Nationwide, there's been a 43% increase in violent crimes since I left office, including a 58% increase in rape, 89% increase in aggravated assault, and a 56% increase in stone cold robbery. July 4th weekend in Chicago, 117 people were shot. 100, I'm not talking about I'm talking about shot. Not aimed at and missed, but I can guarantee you that number was big. But 117 people were shot. Of the 117, 17 died. Many are going to be incapacitated. They're going to be working for the rest of their lives just to move. Many are paralyzed. Many of those people are paralyzed right now. Nobody ever talks about that. So 117 people shot, 17 died, many very seriously hurt for the rest of their lives. If Kamala wins, it will be crime, chaos, and death all across our country. We're going to have just the opposite. You know, it's up to the governors and the mayors to run things, but with Minnesota, which was a disaster, Minneapolis, the crimes. You remember the CNN reporter? This is a friendly riot. Oh, please, I'd rather not use the word riot. This is a friendly get-together. And behind him, the whole city is burning down. Remember that? Remember, it was like the flames were going like for miles. And then he got hit on the knee with something. I think it was a hand grenade that didn't go off. Remember him with the shaved head? Ding, 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 shaved his head. How do I look? Great. Then he goes down, a hand grenade hits him. How do I look, darling? Oh, you look great. They call it the summer of love, remember? They took over Seattle, 20%. If I didn't have the soldiers ready to go that morning, that Seattle would still be occupied. They actually took over a large percentage of Seattle. Portland, what they did with Portland. You know, I was in the real estate business. I love storefronts, beautiful bronze. I love bronze and beautiful everything. Storefronts, so beautiful. In Portland, you know, they have a storefront. Their storefronts have been so decimated. They use old 2x4s with a wooden door, no glass, no windows. It's the worst looking avenue I've ever seen because, and I spoke to people that have shops there. They don't have them anymore. They've all fled. But the few people that remain, they have wooden storefronts made out of old lumber. And they said, no, anything we put up, including this, will be knocked down the next time. And it happens on a weekly basis. And nobody does anything about it. If I didn't bring out, they knew the military was coming in the next day in Seattle. If they didn't know that, and they fled, they all said, oh, it's about time to get it. You know, when they were doing monuments in Washington, Marjorie knows this. I got an old bill because I doubt we could ever get Congress to pass one like this. And they were trying to rip down monuments. And then it was Abraham Lincoln. They were going to rip down the monument to Abraham Lincoln. They were ripping down other monuments. They didn't care who it was. They just wanted to destroy our country. And I took this old bill from 1889. Today, you wouldn't have the guts to sign a thing like that, although they should. They should make it even tougher. And it said, if you desecrate or even touch a monument in any way, shape, or form, you go to jail for 10 years, and there's no shortened sentence. There's no shortened sentence. There's no like you get 9 years off for good behavior. No, it's 10 years and you're not allowed to even do that. No judge is allowed to do it. In fact, it was so old when I had I'm saying, this is an old sucker. This thing is old. But I reinstituted it. It was so severe, frankly, that they didn't use it. And then I had a press conference, remember, and I announced anybody, and people were, you know, doing lassos of those gorgeous horses and all the things up there. And yet you saw it the other day. They were doing it again in Washington, D.C. with spray paint into limestone and granite. You know, the limestone, it's a very porous stone. I was very good at this. I was a builder, as you may have heard. And the limestone, that paint goes in there, sucks. In 100 years, you'll see that. There's nothing you can do. It just goes right in. It's very, very porous. It's sand, basically. Beautiful sand, beautiful lions, beautiful monuments, the bells and everything, desecrated. And I wonder what happened to those people. Probably nothing, right? Probably nothing. What they did tremendous damage. They did tremendous damage. But so I announced this bill, and the bill, I had a press conference to announce it. And I said, 10 years for anybody even touching any of our beautiful monuments. You know what happened? It was a beautiful sight. I saw thousands of asses, only the back, walking out of town. Some were running. They didn't want to do anything. They just wanted to get the hell out of town. And that was the end of the problem. We didn't have any more problem. We had no more problem after that. There was no problem. And that was the end. You didn't hear about it after that, Mr. Congressman, did we? Collins, good speaker he is. He's got a future. Does he have a future, Margie? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Got the look. He's got the hair. Good job.
got the hair.
Good job. We will restore law and order to America. We will bring back public safety to the great state of Georgia, which is doing very badly in that way. And on day one, we will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send the illegal aliens back home. And we'll do it very quickly.
I love it.
Right? For 3.5 years, Border Czar Harris, and again, she refuses to acknowledge that she was the border czar. She was the worst manager we've ever had, ever. And by the way, all of the people in charge of the border, they've all endorsed me. They said he was the greatest president we've ever had.
True.
Tom Homan, you know, Brandon Judd, all of those guys, they've all endorsed me. And
Tom
they said
Homan
she's
is
the worst,
great.
I mean, it's hard for them to say that, but, you know, they said there's never been anybody so incompetent. For 3.5 years, Border Czar Harris has allowed terrorists and criminals to pour across our wide open border. And now she's denying it. You can't fall for it. Disinformation. Deny for a year. We'd never done. Nothing happened. We were great. We were so tough. And some people will start to believe it, you know? They use the word brainwash. Did you ever hear the word brainwash? Mitt Romney's father used that word. It wasn't good when he used that word. It destroyed his career. But they were brainwashed. Some people they hear it over and over again, how bad they were, and they say how great a job they did. They did great. They say it again and again, and all of a sudden people, and don't forget, it's not their main thing. They're accountants, they're lawyers, they're taxi drivers, they're carpenters, they're electricians. They hear it over and over again. All of a sudden they say, she was really great on the border, wasn't she? No, she was a disaster. She has destroyed our country. We're going to bring it back, but she has destroyed our country. She's incompetent. They're coming from South America. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from Africa and the Middle East, from prisons and jails. They're coming from all over the world. They're not just coming from South America. Everyone thinks, oh, South America, they want to vote. It's Spanish, and they're like, but by the way, we are doing better with the Hispanic population, I think, now than they are. So that's not working out too well. But they're coming from all over the world, not just South America. They're coming from the Congo in Africa. A lot are coming from the Congo, from prisons. Where do you come from? The Congo. Oh,
military age men. They're not families looking for a better place.
Prison. What did you do? Murder. Oh. Welcome to the United States of America.
Awful. Awful.
The only good thing is, I say this all the time, these people are so violent and vicious that are being brought into our country. They're so violent, so vicious, that they make our gang members and bad people and criminals look like the nicest people on earth. So when we see an MS-13, some person now, we say, well, they're not that bad. These are the worst people anywhere in the world coming into our country. They're coming in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing can be made of it. And they're actually trying to get them to sign up and vote. They don't even speak the language. They don't even know where the hell they are. They want them to
it's
sign
like the
up
biggest
and vote.
scandal in American
And we
history.
have the head of our great Republican Party here.
I get tired
and
of saying that.
letting it happen wherever you may be. Right? Wherever you may be. Doing a great job. You know that, right? They're coming in and they're trying to sign them up. Because I used to say, like, only two reasons this could be happening. They hate our country or they're stupid. Well, they're not stupid because anybody that can cheat on elections that good is not stupid. And they do. I really believe they do, to a certain extent, hate our country because, you know, why? But I never really talked about the third reason because it's so sinister. But they want to sign these people up to vote. And if they do that, this country is destroyed. We've become a dumping ground for the entire world, and we're not going to take it anymore. Just a few months ago, right here in your state, I met with the devastated family. What a beautiful family of Laken Riley, the brilliant 22-year-old nursing student, topper of her class, who was out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia when she was assaulted, beaten, and horrifically killed. Her family was, I mean, look, they'll never be the same. Incredible family. Kamala Harris let in the savage monster who murdered Laken Riley. He was an illegal alien who was in Border Patrol custody, but under Harris's policies, instead of being deported immediately and fast, he was set free into America. Please enjoy your stay. Laken's blood is on Kamala Harris's hands, and she was in charge of the border. But there are many, many people like that. Laken is not the only one. Kamala is responsible for the death as though she was standing there watching it herself. She was responsible, and for so many more. 3 days after releasing Laken's killer into the United States, Harris went on television and lied to the American people, saying the border is secure. Quote, the border is secure. What kind of a politician lies to Americans about keeping the border open while precious young girls are being assaulted and killed? And Laken is one where the press was, I mean, very strong on it, but there are thousands of people that are being killed and being criminalized and victimized by these people that are pouring into our country. I call it migrant crime. We now have migrant crime in our country. It's a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's vicious, and it's really bad. Kamala Harris should not be asking for your vote. She should be begging Laken Riley's family for forgiveness, and Joe Biden never would mention her name. You remember when Biden wouldn't mention her name, then all of a sudden, because Laken was really, I mean, that was a big deal. That was a very horrible, just horrific. And he wouldn't mention her name, and then he finally did it, and he called her the wrong name. Lincoln, right? Called her Lincoln. Good coach, Lincoln Riley, good coach. Maybe that's where it came from, but called her Lincoln. And he was so bad, such a bad precedent. Such a bad president, and precedent was set by having him as a president. He was a disaster for this country. You get angry talking about it because it's almost impossible to believe you can be that bad. You know, people like certain people, and I understand it. They could have different beliefs, different policies. Like Ronald Reagan, he had something special about him. There was an aura, right? I didn't agree with him on trade. I didn't think he was as good on trade as he could have been tougher on trade, but he had something special. They all, you know, but this last group, there's nothing they have nothing. I call him Crooked Joe for a reason. He's crooked. I also call him Sleepy Joe. He's sleepy, he's crooked, he's incompetent, he's dumb. And she's worse. If Harris wins, a never-ending stream of illegal alien rapists, MS-13 animals, and child predators will flood into your communities. If I win on day one, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
Get rid of all the criminals, the thugs, the cartel members, the people who don't love America.
We have no choice. No country can sustain this. We have no choice, and we will immediately expel every single criminal that Baltazar Harris has allowed into our country. No country can sustain it. In a recent CBS poll, 62% of Americans support large-scale deportation, and others are saying it's 83%, 85%, including 53% of Hispanic voters because they see what's happening. By the way, the Hispanic voter and me have like this special relationship. I understand them. They're very entrepreneurial, very smart, but they also understand security better than anybody. And they don't want to have murderers released into our country. They don't want, it's very interesting. When I built, I built massive amounts of the wall. The wall was incredible. We built it, and hundreds of miles of wall, and they wanted it more than anybody because it worked. Remember I used to say 2 things work. Everything else is obsolete after 2. You do a new computer, in about 3 weeks it's totally obsolete. Nobody wants it. 2 things have never been obsolete: wheels and walls. Wheels work and walls work. And you have a lot of different things becoming obsolete, but the wheel and the walls work. Harris wants to be the president for criminals and illegal aliens. I will be the president for law-abiding Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. And it's no wonder the Democrat Party and their thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones who are going to be able to stop them. Nobody else is going to be able to stop these lunatics. All of their persecution of me is only happening because I am running for president and leading very big in all of the polls. If I wasn't running for president, I could be vacationing next to one of the many beautiful oceans of the world as the waves come in. Beautiful, but it's boring. I'd rather be with you figuring out this mess that we've gotten ourselves into.
How do you not love this guy?
We're going to figure it out. We've got it figured out. Thank you.
We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump.
Thank you very much.
We got to get our country back, y'all. This is dire straits.
Now we have 2 things we have to do. We have to vote, and we have to make sure that we stop them from cheating.
Yes.
They cheat like dogs.
Yes.
I don't know if you've heard, but the Georgia State Election Board is in a very positive way. This is a very positive thing, Marjorie. They're on fire. They're doing a great job. 3 members: Janice Johnson, Rick Jeffries, and Janelle King. 3 people are all pit bulls fighting for honesty, transparency, and victory. They're fighting. Are they here? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Thank you. What a job. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. But we have a couple of other members that aren't so good. We have some that aren't so good, but these 3 are really doing the job because they don't want to see this happen. That will destroy our country. They just passed a rule for Georgia elections requiring that 3 people at each precinct independently count the total number of ballots before certification. Who could be against that? Who could be against it? Thank you, Janice, very much. That's really amazing. Thank you all. Thank you all. Those are great people. I'd say brave, but I mean, to you, it's like that you got to do what you have to do, right? It's not like a question of brave. They said I was brave 2 weeks ago. I had to do what I had to do. It's not like brave, right? It's just we do the right thing. Go. Thank you. My courage was contagious. Well, your courage is contagious, too. Thank you. Thank you. Nice.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
It's amazing. People want it. That's what they want. Thank you, Janice. That's great. And those 3 people are incredible. Let me give you the bad news. It's that for whatever reason, Brad Raffensperger and Brian Kemp. Raffensperger and Brian Kemp, your governor, who I got elected, by the way. If it wasn't for me, he would not be your governor. I think everybody knows that. He's a very disloyal person, isn't he? Very disloyal. But these 2 are doing everything possible. Plus, your attorney general would like to see him show up and do something. But I mean, look at the love and adulation and applause, because this is like a poll. This is like a poll. We have thousands of people. That's better than going out and paying $500,000 to have some pollster go out and poll 212 people. Look at this. Look at the love they have for Janice. That's what people want. They want to have honest elections, and they want to have strong borders. You know, very simple. But your governor, Kemp, and Raffensperger are doing everything possible to make 2024 difficult for Republicans to win. What are they doing? I don't know. They got something in mind, you know, they got a little something in mind. Kemp is very bad for the Republican Party. He wouldn't do anything. You know, we have Burt Jones over here. We have Burt Jones. All he wanted in the Senate was to have a special resolution passed, and it was all done. Every senator wanted it. Every Republican wanted it. And we have Senator Beach here someplace, too. Where is Senator Beach? Oh, I can't forget him. We can't forget him. A warrior, you know that, and many others in this group. But all they wanted was to have just a special, we want to go over the election. We want to look, because there's too many things. And the governor wouldn't sign it. And I knew he would, because I got him elected. I sent a young guy over to his office. Would you please have him sign this? And the kid came back. He said, sir, he won't sign. Of course he will. I got him elected. Give me a break. Of course he will. No, he wouldn't. And then I said, well, go back over. Tell him it's for me. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. They want to look into possible election fraud. Wouldn't you say, Senator, that's a good thing, right? They want to look into election fraud. It comes back. Sir, I said it was for you. This was a few years later, after I won him the election. Don't forget, I endorsed him, and you had a very good man, Casey Cagle, your lieutenant governor. He was going to win easily. And David Perdue, where's David? I love David, but that was his only mistake. He said, sir, would you endorse a friend of mine, Brian Kemp? I said, who's Brian Kemp? He said, he's a friend of mine, sir. And Sonny came too. This was probably the only mistake of David's life. That was a beauty, David. Thanks, David. I appreciate it. And I endorsed this guy. He was like way down on the list. He was doing terribly. And he immediately, you know, my endorsement means a lot, and I'm very careful with it. And I endorsed him, and he won in a landslide. And then he said, I can't beat Stacey Abrams. I can't beat her. She's going to be too tough. And she felt that too, by the way. She still feels it. You know, she's constantly saying she won the election. She can say it, but I'm not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to say it. And Michaela, I love you, Michaela. I'm in love with Michaela. Please explain that to Melania. Please explain that to our First Lady. You're fantastic. Now, you are a special person. But I endorsed him, and then she said, I can't beat Stacey Abrams. He said that, and his wife said it too. I said, well, you won the nomination, so let's do some big rallies. And I did them out at an airport, massive rallies, 55,000 and 52,000. There may have even been a third, I don't know. I remember 2 monster rallies. And I said, you're going to win. He said, I don't think so, sir. I said, no, you're going to win. I'm telling you, I can tell the vibe of the people. I'm like, I think, David, 287-0 in the last 12 months with endorsements. People respect my endorsement, and I respect them, and I love them. I love them. But so I did these 2 big rallies, and he won. He did win. He won by like 2%. And his wife looked at me and said, thank you, sir. We'll never, ever be able to repay you for what you did. You got my husband the nomination, and then we beat somebody who was unbeatable. You know, she was, in theory, unbeatable. She was the hottest politician in the country at the time. Democrat politician, I would say I was hotter because I was president. So I was hotter than her. I'm only kidding, Marjorie. I'm only kidding. Although maybe I'm not kidding, actually. No, she was like the hottest, certainly the hottest Democrat politician in the country. And she was going wild for years. She's still going wild. She can't even believe it. But I got him by doing massive rallies, and I really worked hard. He's the most disloyal guy I think I've ever seen. But think of the wife. We can never repay you for what you've done, sir. We could have never won. And now she said 2 weeks ago that I will not endorse him because he hasn't earned my endorsement. I haven't earned her endorsement. I have nothing to do with her. Somewhere he went bad. And you know what? Your numbers in Georgia are very average. Your crime numbers, your economic numbers, all of your numbers, you're very average. You can do a lot better, and you'll do a lot better with a better governor. You can do a lot better, just so you understand. But I don't want her endorsement. I don't want his endorsement. I just want them to do their job for Georgia. And you know what? He's the governor. He ought to support his Republican Party, because if he doesn't have his Republican Party, I could tell you where he came from, and it wasn't good. And you have a great leader of the Republican Party right here. Stand up, please. He has done an unbelievable job, and he has to work like hell with a governor that doesn't help him. And Raffensperger ought to make sure that the vote is honest. And they don't want the vote to be honest. In my opinion, they want us to lose. That's actually my opinion. And we can't let that happen, because if we lose Georgia, we lose the whole thing and our country goes to hell, because we can't have her be president of the United States. She's grossly incompetent. We can't let that happen. They're the ones, don't forget, who got Fani Willis and her lover boy boyfriend all jazzed up. This guy, the governor, you know what? She's an embarrassment to the state of Georgia. He's the governor of Georgia. He ought to do something. Many, many people, their lives have been, forget about me. Many people, I'm used to it. It's true. I'm used to fake crap that goes on with these politicians. But many, many people, their lives have been destroyed because of Fani, F-A-N-I, Fani. You have to pronounce it Fani. It's called Fanny. You have to pronounce Fani.
So
I don't know how she gets. She should add a little U in there someplace if she wants people to call her. No, her and her lover, right? Lover boy Wade.
American Pie Wade.
Because of experience. Paid him almost $1 million a year.
Unbelievable.
For experience. He's got great experience. He never did a thing like this in his life. He knew nothing.
He's right about everything. He's literally right about everything. The only thing he knew about
was something else. He knew about that. That's all he knew about. He didn't
Hello.
know a damn thing.
Hello.
Do you know him? Have you ever met him? Yeah, a couple of times. You ever see the phone records, phone calls being made at 3 o'clock in the morning, like every single night, phone call from her house? And he said, no, not well. I don't know her well. No. And this governor, I assume, I don't know, he could straighten it out because his state has become a laughingstock over it. And you know what? I love this state. I won this state twice, in my opinion. Once I won, and I did much better the second time. And Bert knows it, and Beach knows it, and everybody else knows it. He could have ended the travesty with a phone call because I did nothing wrong, and neither did all of those good people that are being persecuted. People in their 80s, they signed something, because they see what's going on. I guarantee if I took a vote of this audience, if I said, what do you think? I won't do that. They'll come and indict you if you say that, right? Now, they can say it. Stacey Abrams can say that she won the election, is fine. But if we say we won the election, and we did, that's not fine. We can't do it. Hillary Clinton is still complaining about the election, even though she called me up that night and conceded. But Hillary Clinton is constantly complaining about it. Nothing happens to her. We have two sides of justice, and we can't do it anymore. We have to get back to making America great again. We don't have time for this nonsense. I mean, Fani wanted to indict a certain U.S. senator who had nothing at all. He's saying, why are they calling me? I won't use his name because I don't want to hurt him. But she wanted to indict, and somebody along the way stopped her from doing it. She had many, many more people. She was going to indict almost everybody that came into the state for a visit. But Kemp doesn't want to end it because he's a bad guy, he's a disloyal guy, and he's a very average governor. Little Brian Kemp, bad guy. But think of it. I got this guy, just think, and then that's it. I got this guy nominated. I then got him elected. Without me, he doesn't get nominated and he doesn't get elected. He had no chance of winning either one. And all he had to do is sign something where the Senate would like to look at election integrity. This is an honest man. That's an honest man. They were all honest. They were looking at something very legitimate. And this bad guy said, I'm sorry, sir. I can't do it. I called him and I said, Brian, they're looking at election integrity. Is there anything you can do? I'm sorry, sir. I can't get involved in that. I said, but Brian, you don't understand. This is a good thing, not a bad thing. I'm sorry, sir. I can't get involved. I've had you up to here, Brian. I've had you up to here. He's a bad guy, and he's not doing this country a good service. People are looking at Georgia with Fani and her lover and all of the other things saying, what the hell is going on in Georgia? What the hell is going on? The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to let them rig the presidential election in 2024.
That's right.
Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor. I do. Because I'm being indicted for you. You know, my father and mother are looking down. They were great people. They're saying, my son got indicted like 4 times. Al Capone didn't get indicted 4 times. He would kill you if he didn't like your look. If you looked at him in the slightly, that's a nice shirt. Scarface, Al Capone, the most evil man. He didn't get indicted like Trump. I got indicted for what? I'm protesting an election that was rigged. This guy didn't get indicted. My father would say, but Alphonse Capone didn't get indicted.
Alphonse.
He killed hundreds of people. If he took you out for dinner, even you, see you two guys, would you stand up with a MAGA black, please? Stand up, please.
Look at this. Look at this. I love how he
Who the
just
hell
goes
is
off
gonna
script.
mess? Who's going to mess with that? MAGA black.
MAGA black.
I love them. I like them better than you, Bruce. Now, those are 2 tough cookies. But if Alphonse Capone didn't like you because you insulted him slightly at dinner, that was the end of you fellas, I have to tell you. And he didn't get like me. Think of it. How crazy is the world? And thank you for
And they
being
tried to
here.
shoot him.
Good-looking guys. Better looking than Bruce, I'll tell you right now.
Better looking than
But
Bruce.
stand up, Bruce. Never forget, thank you. But never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way. So I want to introduce a few warriors, if I could, please. And they're incredible people. They really are. And, you know, every night I do this where I get in trouble because I'm always leaving somebody out. I'm leaving a congressman out. I'm leaving a guy. It's brutal. So I end up going on the internet and thanking him, and I love him and all the stuff, or her. But, you know, it's always tricky. But I know these are people that are here, and I want to just thank them for joining us. Your great Lieutenant Governor, who's really great, Burt Jones. And his father is here. You know, his father's a legend he's a legend, literally, in Georgia as an incredible politician. And then he left. He didn't lose. He left, and he went into business, and he's been tremendously successful. He really is a legend. His name is Bill Jones. Does anybody know Bill Jones? Bill? Where is Bill? Good. I saw him backstage. He's fantastic. Representative Mike Collins. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Where is the preacher that was back there talking to me? Where is he? Huh? Because he went with your father. Oh, your father's smart. I always said that. Stays with those preachers. Rick Allen and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Thank you, Rick. Thanks, Rick. Great job, Rick. Thank you, Marjorie. You know, I've known Marjorie from the beginning, and she's an amazing political person. I don't like to say politician. She's beyond that. She's really loved and respected by so many people. And in Washington, when she calls, they get very nervous. Oh, please. She's fantastic. So I thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. And a future congressman, he'll be one of your best. He's been with me for 8 years. And, you know, he always wanted to be a congressman. Then his district opened up, and he said, "Do you think I could do it?" I said, "You have my complete and total endorsement." Brian Jack. Brian Jack. Great guy. He's going to be a great congressman. And it's what he wanted to be. And he's fantastic. You guys are going to love Brian.
Brian.
Also, we alluded to him and talked about him, but I'm going to talk about him very positively. He was really a great senator. He was a great man in so many different ways. He was respected more than anybody. I mean, everybody respected him in Washington. Very successful businessman that he ran for office, a little bit like the Trump schedule of events. But he was really a fantastic person in Washington, somebody that I was very close to, David Perdue. David, thank you. Doug Collins, will you stand up? Come on. How good was this guy? That's fantastic. See, I'm glad I spotted him. I would have been in big trouble if I didn't mention him. I'm glad. You know, they give me a few names. Who the hell writes these lists out? These people, somebody's getting me in big trouble. It wasn't that way when I had Brian Jack doing this, I'll tell you. I got lucky. And I see somebody that I know very well, one of the truly great members of the Martin Luther King family, one of the greats. Will you please stand up? I didn't see you. My friend from the beginning, I would have been in such trouble. If I didn't mention you, I would have been in big trouble. Thank you, darling. One of the truly great people. And been with us from the very beginning, I would say, right? Very beginning. Thank you, darling. Boy, am I glad I'm looking over this audience. I don't like this. I'm telling you, this would
What
not have
happened? I'm
happened
still
if
seeing it.
Brian
What are you guys
Jack were
talking
doing
about?
it, which he did for many years. Agriculture Commissioner has done a fantastic job. Tyler Harper. Tyler, thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you. And John King, Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner.
Wait,
John,
what?
thank you. Great job, John. Labor Commissioner Bruce Thompson. Bruce? Thank you, Bruce. Public Service Commissioners, Bubba. I love Bubba McDonald. I love that name. I want to change my name. And Fitz Johnson. Thank you both. Thank you both. And Alvita. Good. They did have your name down, Alvita. I would have been in trouble if I didn't pick, but I picked it even with. And Richard Wood, Superintendent of Schools, who I hear does a great job.
Policy
Richard,
violations.
Thank you, Richard. Pastor Benny Tate of the Rock Springs Church.
What? Hold on a second. Why did we lose the stream? Well, we didn't lose it on Rumble. Why? What policy violation? What the hell are you talking about? Oh, gosh. Hold on, Rumble and Twitch and Facebook. I don't know what just happened. Hold on. Well, I'm going to... What the hell did I do wrong?
That's a real artist. I brought him up because I thought he was going to give it to me. He didn't give it to me. He just got me to sign it. I got nothing out of that. Hey, Michaela, I know you spoke. Just come up for a second. Come on. This young woman, I walked into, I don't know what the hell restaurant it was, but I walked into this restaurant. And we do it very quietly. We don't announce it. That's for, security reasons, everything. I walked in. She's behind the counter, and she didn't know I was coming. And she goes, "It's President Trump." She looks at me. "It's President Trump. You saved my college." And I said, "How the hell do you know that?" She said, "This one is so smart, so sharp." She grabbed me. She gave me a kiss. I said, "I think I'm never going back home to college."
You were supposed to keep that quiet.
See, now, for the average politician, that's death. For me, I don't care. I just want to tell you, you are an unbelievable person with a great personality. You lit up the whole room. You lit up the whole room. I said, weeks later, I'd go, "Who is that person that was so incredible?" She knew everything about me. She had no idea I was coming. She knew everything about me. And the historically black colleges and universities, I gave millions and millions, billions of dollars to. They kept coming back. And I said, "Why are you doing this?" And we gave them long-term funding. And she knew that because she said her college, she loved her college. She said it was so great, right? You loved it.
The illustrious CAU.
Yeah, that's right. She loved her college, and she said, "You saved my college." What was your college? Tell her.
The illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
And it was so impressive, and I felt so good because she really did. She really said, I said, "Did you like the college?" She said, "No, I loved that school. I loved that college." And that's what it's all about. But you are an incredible person. I think you have a tremendous future. I really do. And I'll do whatever I can to help you. Okay? Thank you, God. Thank you. Great job. You want to say something else?
Man, I thought I was done. But I do want to add on to some of the remarks that were made by others, and we do need to do our best to get the message out there. The fight is nothing if all we do is talk about it amongst ourselves. So with that being said, since you said you'd help me, shameless plug, if y'all need anybody to knock doors, make phone calls, wave signs, get people out to the polls, call me at Conserve the Culture. Because not only do I mobilize the HBCU students so that they may get this message, but I'm the best person when it comes to black engagement in the black community. And nobody needs this message more than my folks. So do y'all care for real? Are y'all with us for real? ConserveTheCulture.com for any and all inquiries. Y'all can follow me at Miss Kayla, baby. I'm going to give it back to Big T. And last thing, make sure you guys tune in to my podcast dropping soon on the Patriots Prayer Network. Thank you all.
She's great. Thank you. That's a great person, great woman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. From the moment we take back the White House from Kamala and Crooked Joe, and he's crooked as a $4 bill, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. Thanks to Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote here in Atlanta, you suffered the highest inflation of any city in the country last year. Good job, Governor. Great job, Governor. Under Kamala, the typical Georgia family has lost $28,000 in inflation and to inflation hikes. To bring down the prices of all goods, we will stop the Biden-Harris war on American energy. American energy is such a big deal. We will drill, baby, drill. We'll get that number down. We'll bring energy prices down. Everything else will float with it. We will terminate the Green New Scam, and I will end the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate right on day one. It will be ended. We will pass massive tax cuts for workers, and that includes no tax on tips, Michaela. To further protect Georgia workers, I will revoke China's most favored nation's trade status. I will pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. If China or any other country makes us pay a 100 or 200% tariff, we will make them pay a reciprocal tariff of 100 or 200% right back. You heard us, we heard you. It's an eye for an eye. We'll take in a fortune, and they'll stop doing it before I even arrive at the Oval Office shortly after we win the presidency. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, and I will prevent, and I'm the only one that's going to do it, 100% will prevent World War III, which is very close to happening. I will restore peace through strength, and in my next term, we will build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our country, a dome like none other, like nobody has ever seen before, and it will all be made in the USA, and much of it will be made in the great state of Georgia. And I will not cut 1 cent from Social Security or Medicare. I kept that promise 4 years ago, and I will keep it again. And seniors will not pay taxes on Social Security. We are going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they have ever been before. We will take over the horribly run capital of our nation in Washington, D.C., and clean it up, renovate it, rebuild our capital city so there's no longer a nightmare of murder and crime. We're going to stop the murder and crime. You go down from your state, you end up getting mugged, murdered in our capital. It'll be run tough and strong by our great police officers, but rather we will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. I could say again, but it's been so badly run for so long, I almost don't want to say again. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the shoulders of our children. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. And I will keep men out of women's sports, if that's okay. If Kamala Harris gets in, the travesty that is taking place at the Paris Olympics will come to America when we host the Los Angeles Olympics. And by the way, which I was president, we happened to get it. I was the president. I also got you a thing called the World Cup, which is coming very soon. I might as well say it myself because nobody else will say it. But I got them both, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it, I hope. Harris is a radical trans activist, and she is the candidate of letting men beat up women in the name of tolerance. But you look at what's happening over in Paris. It will never happen here. I will never let it happen. I will get all males off your daughter's soccer teams and volleyball teams and get them out of your locker rooms once and for all. That's going to be cleaned up, and we will fight to make sure that the LA Olympics protects women and protects girls. I will fully uphold the Second Amendment, and we will protect